What's going on, people? Welcome to a live Deadline Day show. We'll be here covering all the latest until the window is shut. In today's case, it might be after the window is shut. There's about 163 people already waiting that's joined live. So if you haven't already done so, hit the like button, subscribe. We'll be changing the panel as well. You'll be hearing different voices. And we'll be giving the latest. The latest right now is that Marc Guehi has completed his medical to Liverpool. However, there seems like there's a twist. His replacement, which seems like it was going to be Igor, the backup centre-back for Brighton, seems like he's going to West Ham. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I just can't hold myself back. I'm just going to say it as it is. And yeah, there might be a few more incomings as well, joined by Lou and Patrick and Xavier for the start of the show. But gents, I'll start off with you, Lou. Your thoughts on today so far? There's a lot that's happening, lots of twists and turns. And we'll keep you all up to date as well with everything that's going on whenever anything happens. But yeah, your thoughts, Lou.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I said you either die a hero, or you live long enough to become the villain. Steve Parish is the villain. He's finished. He's done. It's done for me. It's done for me. This was the last thing. I don't care if Guehi stays. It's ridiculous. It's one of the worst days in recent Palace history. This is disgraceful. Heads gone, heads rattled. I can't believe what is going on.
I can't either. Patrick?
My head's like all over the place. It's not even about the player, because I've argued so many times, just keep him. He's our captain. I don't care about the money, the manager. But it's about the manager. I don't know how many times Glasner can say, you can't sell Guehi, and then for us to go and basically sell him, he's gone out on loan. He's got the medical done, and to bring in a Brighton player, which I find is absolutely hilarious, but then not even one of their starters, a third or fourth player from Brighton, and to act like that's going to be the replacement, it's absolutely ludicrous, man. I got mad at the Eze deal again. Could be a replacement. Okay, we got Pino. Great. I got over that. I'm like, all right, cool. We got Pino in. He's going to be a good player. But again, what he's done to undermine the manager, and I'm going to say him as in Parish, I can't anymore, man. When he fired Vieira, I took that very personally. It really, really bothered me. But you know what? I came back as, he's still done a great job. He's a great owner. Under him, he's done and all those things are true. Great owner. Greatest time in the Premier League ever, 1-2 trophies, etc. But as Lou said, the guy will kill his legacy when he sells Guehi and the manager, which I've never said before, the manager is going to leave. Now, whether he leaves next week or the end of the season, there's no come back from this. There's no him saying, okay, yeah, maybe I'll sign a contract. Glasner's going to leave. And I don't understand why CPAC seems like he wants to push him out. I don't understand it. It's so frustrating. So again, it's not about the player leaving, because again, I've gotten over, Kenny Sanson, play my favorite players, and Ian Wright so many times, Wilf leaving. I get it. I understand the player leaving part, but why are you trying to push out Glasner at the same time? It doesn't make any sense. The window has been a shamble because again, it is deadline day. What, 2 hours and 10 minutes to go, and now you're trying to get a player in for Marc Guehi. I can't anymore. I'm done. I just can't. I don't know what he's doing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Xavier, your thoughts so far on the transfer window and some of the news that's coming out today, especially with Marc Guehi. It seems like it's not done yet to Liverpool. From what I'm gathering by all the reports that's coming out there, it seems like he's done his medical just in case he gets to go ahead, but the deal isn't officially confirmed yet between Palace and Liverpool. But I mean, Guehi leaving, and now reports suggesting that Palace are holding back after Igor from Brighton. I have to laugh. I can't keep a straight face when I say this. After Igor from Brighton is getting hijacked by West Ham, it just seems like, based on the two stories, it seems like that was going to be Marc Guehi's replacement after what Glasner said, which I find crazy. But I'll give my thoughts after anyways. I'm just sorting stuff out. But what's your thoughts on everything that's going on today?
Yeah, I mean, my head's just fully gone as well. We've had pretty much the same offer from Marc for about 3 weeks at this point. So if we're going to get rid, and Parish has been basically in the press telling everyone who would listen that, we can't afford to lose him on a free. If that's the way he was thinking this entire time, then could have done this deal 3 weeks ago and tried to figure out a replacement at that point. But at this point to do it, it just takes the piss really, especially after everything Glasner has said, continues to say. It just it does my head in. And then the bit about Igor, it makes it even worse. Like, it's like mind-boggling to me that the people running this club thought that is an adequate replacement for the club captain, the best center back we've ever had. It's like genuinely ridiculous. Like, it's honestly, I can't really even wrap my head around it. We've had some ridiculous deadline days, and we've had some ridiculous transfer windows in terms of the things that we've done, not replacing players adequately, leaving things to the last minute, that type of thing. But this it takes the piss really. Like, I can't. Yeah, it's just my head's just fully gone. It's honestly it's hard for me to be particularly coherent about it. I like every little bit of news that comes out seems to be worse than the last. I generally have no idea what Parish is doing. Like, it's really ridiculous at this point. Like, yeah, it's just my head's just fully gone.
Yeah, I mean, where do I start with the window ain't over yet? But it seems like today it just left me with a sour taste. I feel like, regardless of what happens at this point, Guehi leaving or staying, I would like to say thank you for everything that is done, but it's over for me personally. It's not back of the nest. Back of the nest, everyone has their own views. But for me personally, it's over between Parish and his club. I think we've hit our ceiling. We've hit our ceiling with him. I think he's done a fantastic job in terms of from 2010 to bringing us here. But I think Glasner has exposed him big time. Glasner leaving, Dougie leaving. We've seen it. Shambles of a window. This is, if it's not now, when are we going to push on? If it's not now, under this manager that won us the FA Cup, that won us a Community Shield, that has got us, of course, into European football. If it's not in this window, when was it going to be? It was this window. So this was a massive test. Let's see how serious we are as a football club. Do we really want to push on? Or if some of the words from the previous owners, are they actually true about lack of ambition? And you know what? I hate to admit it, but it seems like it is true. It seems like what Texas said is true about Parish only wanting to stay up. Because forget about today. As I said, forget about the Guehi deal. It's been a shambles of a window. Parish. Oliver Glasner came out yesterday, and this is what people are so stuck on, the replacement. Oh, if you bring in a replacement, he can go. He even said it himself. We planned the replacement early July. A replacement was going to come early July, and we don't have enough time to work on a player. So at this point, selling Guehi cannot happen. But what I feel like personally as a fan, I feel like Parish should put his middle finger up to the fans, to me, fans like me who want Guehi to stay, because he's not dumb. I'm not going to have no PR or excuses. Parish does listen to the fans. He knows, he goes on Twitter. He might not tweet a lot, but he's vocal. He knows what's going on. And he put his middle finger up to Oliver Glasner, and it feels like the same old. So if it's not now for us to push on, when will it be? And I'm not saying Parish has done a bad job, but I think this window has really exposed him. It's exposed him to the core. Like, what are we doing? What have we done the whole window? We sold Eze, which was his decision, and then selling Eze that late on in the window. Now you want to sell Marc Guehi. Like, at some point, you have to look at yourself, and you have to not only look at yourself, look at the other owners. We're owned by how many billionaires? 3 billionaires. You have other football clubs in the Premier League putting, money into the football club. With us, it's always balance the books. Oh, 30 million pounds, we can't lose him. Like, this is our captain. This is our greatest ever manager. And if you really do want to keep this manager at the football club, you have to show ambition. And right now, he's showing no ambition. He's doing the total opposite. I feel like he's taking a piss.
Quickly as well.
Sanction, Guehi being sold in the last 2 to 3 hours of the window, and have Igor as a replacement. We are very lucky that West Ham have come in last minute. But this exposes the whole thing.
Quickly as well. He got off scot-free with that Europa League thing as well. That now I'm getting mad about that stuff now, because he's one of the reasons why we're not in the Europa League, no matter which way you want to cover it. So listen, he's opened a full can of worms now, the full can of worms. We let you slide because we won the FA Cup and it was an injustice, but you tried to sell Marc Guehi with 2 hours left. 2 hours left.
It's too
mad.
late to make up for it. Like, that's even if he doesn't leave right now, that's what his plan was. And that's what infuriates me even more. Because if that's your plan, whilst having Oliver Glasner at the football club, clearly that's your ceiling. This is your ceiling. You care more about, oh, I'd rather get a £30 million this year than to lose 1-3, which of course, who doesn't want to get £30 million? But the context matters. We're playing in Europe for the first time. It's your fault that we haven't signed a replacement. Glasner came out and said that as a replacement should have been done earlier. We saw how upset he was after Fredrikstad. He's come out yesterday, spoke about it's too late to lose Guehi at this window. And every single time he's going against this manager when this is a time to take the risks. So I don't think he's a bad chairman. I really don't. But I think this is it. Like, this is it. This is the level that he can bring us up to. And losing Dougie at a football club is pretty much Glasner and Dougie have been his downfall. Dougie's gone. Look at the transfer business. It is it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Like, let's remove the Guehi element out of it. We've signed who? Sosa and Benitez up until Eze's left. We still haven't brought in the backup number 10, which we're going to bring in now. And timing is very important. It's not just about personnel. How many times have Glasner come out and said, he said this last year, for fuck's sake. He said this last year. Glasner came out last year and he said, I need time to train with the players. And what happened in the first 9 games? He didn't have the time, so we struggled. And we're doing the same thing again. Like, at what point are we going to learn? At this point, it's not about learning. This is who he is. This is who we are. And something will need to change. Otherwise, we're going to, when Glasner does leave at the end of next season, which I think he will leave, and that's going to be great for Steve Parish. He's going to say, oh, wow, this is why we sold Guehi, right? Because Glasner was going to leave anyways. Well, you showed no ambition. You showed no reason for Glasner to stay. You can see how good of a manager he is. You know what he wants, and you can't deliver it. Simple as. And the new main stand. We've been talking. I was 17 when the main stand got announced. I was at Sellers Park in the media coverage. It is 2025. The work was meant to begin now. But every time there's an excuse. There's always an excuse. There's always a PR stunt. There's always something. There's always something that stops us back from doing stuff. There's always a reason why we can't spend more money. Last year we sold Elise and Anderson, but there's always an excuse. Oh, we can't get business done. It's too late on the window, and this and that is right profiles. Always something, rather than going out there and changing. I thought Glasner might change him. I thought, you know what, under Glasner, we won the FA Cup, won the Community Shield, Conference League as well. We know what the manager wants. He'll deliver. Total opposite. And I was a fool, by the way. I can admit that. I was a fool because I believe the Conference League, Europa League situation was holding us back in terms of spending because we want to figure out the revenues and, Europa League, you have a bit more to spend and the Conference League, you have less, of course, because what we're going to be earning. I was a fool because I gave him the benefit of the doubt. But I'm done being a fool at this point. I'm done. It's the end. It's the end of that. And I'm not saying he's a bad chairman, but it's the end. It's the end. It's the end. Of course, there's a lot to get done. Of course, there are people that are happy with Parish as well. It'd be nice to hear what you lot say. As I've said, these are my views, not back of the nest. And there might be people at back of the nest. I don't know who is happy with Glasner at his current moment in time. And there might be some viewers, not Glasner, with Parish. There might be some viewers that are happy with Parish as well. But I'm not going to lie. When this channel is not funded by the club, we have our own views. It's independent. That's what I love about this channel. That's what I always try to do from day one, that everyone can have their own views and we don't have to go with the right views or whatever to make sure we're behind the club. And that's how I feel. And I'm just so pissed off. Right now.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
What do you mean? Bro, I can't even laugh. I don't know what the latest is. Let me look at the latest with the Guehi situation, but it's not only Steve Parish, by the way. If Parish was to ever go, which I don't think he will go, I do think that other billionaires as well at the football club, if they're not willing to put money in, then they can fuck off as well. Simple as. That's how I see it.
I agree with what you said.
I think they have the biggest covers by Steve Parish behind them, and it's amazing. Can you imagine? You're a billionaire. You bought a Premier League football club and you have a chairman who's who you know is gonna keep you up. He's gonna keep you up, which is the most important thing. You don't want to lose. If you get relegated, the value of the club just drops significantly. So it's perfect for Woody Johnson. It's perfect for Harrison Blitzer. It's amazing. Like, you have Steve Parish who's gonna make sure he keeps you up. And if Parish leave, then we'll see how serious they are as well. We'll see how serious they are because right now they're hiding behind Parish.
They're not serious.
Yeah, but
They're
sorry,
not
Jay,
serious.
but forget Johnson. Johnson just got here. Harris and Blitzer do want to win because they own sport, they own franchises in different sports, and they do try to win. This is on Parish, guys, because again, and listen, I did kind of back text him. I understand he was a bit of a fraud, but the guy wanted to win, and he did say it, and I don't think he meant to say it, that all Parish wants to do is keep us up, and it is fundamentally clear that's all he cares about, and that is important, of course. But we tripped over this manager, who I believe, by the way, Texter got not Parish. Texter got him in here because he's a winner. He comes here and he wins everything up in his first full season. I bet that shocked the heck out of Parish. The fact we actually won something. And now you're still going, okay, now I've got to go to the next level, and he can't do it. He can't do it. So I'm not going to blame Blitzer and Harris because I don't think it falls squarely on Parish's shoulder because he's the one that makes the decisions that matter, and he's the one that has the fear. He has the fear of relegation hanging over, or the fear of failure, and he's got a manager here who doesn't believe that mindset, and he just dropping the ball. And to sell Edouard Guehi in this window is it's unforgivable. I don't care because someone said in the chat was saying he could have sold Guehi last year for 70 million to Newcastle. I would have been happy. I would have been fine with that and got replacement. But again, what happened was Anderson fell into him because of Fulham and blah blah blah. He could have sold him a year ago for double the money, and I wouldn't. But to sell him now on the final day of the window and not have a replacement or have it be Igor from
Igor,
Brighton?
that was the replacement, Patrick. Igor,
Are we serious?
Bro, that's a middle finger to everyone.
That's exactly.
That's a middle finger to Oliver Glasner. Like, are we serious? We have to be thankful that West Ham have gone in for him. We have to be.
I am thankful. I am thankful.
What are we doing? What are we thinking? What's he thinking? So Guehi, your captain, 2 to 3 hours left, and the replacement is Igor, Brighton reject. Like, what is he thinking? That's what I'm saying. There's no way of coming back from this. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. How on earth, after winning the FA Cup, Community Shield, having Glasner at the football club, how we landed in this position where it feels just toxic. It shouldn't feel like this. The Igor deal's off, which might mean the Guehi deal's off, but
there's no way.
Igor deal.
There's no way that deal. How can you do a medical and then all of a sudden be worried about minutes, bro? How much you're going to play is the first discussion you have. Do you know what I mean? Like, what we're doing? What is going on? Like, what's going on? It feels like the journalists now are putting out the feelers to say it's hitting a snag, it's doing this, it's doing that. I don't care, bro. It's done. Parish, you're done, bro. You're finished.
Save, go ahead. I cut you off, Save. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, sorry. I was gonna say a bit about the owners in terms of I think there's a limit to what they can do just because of Parish having the final say in that. So it's hard for us to say what it is that they can and can't do, to be honest. And I understand what D is saying about the other owners letting Parish take the brunt of the stick. But I generally think that with our ownership structure, there's just a limit to what they can do, and I think a lot of them I'm not sure they're just particularly interested in. You know what I mean? That's the way it seems to me. And Woody Johnson's the owner of the NFL team that I like, and I'm generally not sure how interested he is in putting any money in the club, if I'm being honest with you. I think he saw a business opportunity to get a share of a London club at a cut price, took the opportunity, and he could sell in a couple of years probably for double the price, to be honest with you. So that's the way I see it. I think honestly I think all the focus should just be on Parish, really, to be honest. Like, he's happy to be in front of the cameras, taking the credit, when things go right. And I think, when the things are going this wrong, I think he should be the guy who's taking most of it, to be honest.
Yeah, he is. Just a quick update on the situation. Let me share the screen. Whilst I'm doing that, people, there's over nearly 500 people watching live. So if you haven't already done so, please hit the like button. At least that will be helpful. It's going to be crazy few hours. I didn't expect it to be like this yesterday, I'll be honest, talking about Igor. But the latest coming from Rob Dorset Sky is that huge story and problems for Crystal Palace deal with Brighton for Igor. Julio collapses with West Ham hijacking a deal. Igor now heading from Palace. to TG, where he had completed a medical, to West Ham training ground. I'm told Palace will not pull Marc Guehi from going to Liverpool. I'm told Palace will not pull Marc Guehi from going to Liverpool. What do you mean? We will pull? Like you pull the plug? I don't really understand that point. Like,
how do we not pull the plug if we don't have a replacement for him? We were gonna let him go, not have a replacement. Oh man, bro, I might find a plane tomorrow. If we don't have a replacement, I might head to London tomorrow, because I don't know what's going on. That don't make any sense.
He just doesn't want to lose him for free. I think that's been the overwhelming.
How, like?
No, I hear you, D. It makes no sense to me, but it's just very clear from Parish's dealings that he just does not want to lose him for free. I think the whole thing with Wolf burned him a bit, and I think that's generally what's at play here. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'd rather him lose one free next year. Probably sell Wharton for about 9 figures anyway, so he could recoup some of that money in it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I feel like it's very clear that his plan is we just can't lose Marc on a free. And I think that's dictated his entire summer policy. Like, I genuinely don't think it's any deeper than that. I think he's wanted to sell him the entire summer. Like, I genuinely do.
So I understand that, but did he get stick when Wolf left for free? No one really cared, right? We didn't like family didn't kill him for that, right? We didn't really care. We're happy for Wolf going to a team where he can play Champions League. So I don't understand that. I know what you're saying, Dave, but I don't understand why you would.
No, I don't think it's the stick that's not what I mean.
Oh,
I don't think
it's the
stick
money
that he's getting. It's the money.
money.
Yeah, it's the money.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the
okay.
money. Yeah, not the stick. Yeah, the money.
It's totally like baffling. Because am I reading that right or wrong? I'm told Palace will not pull Marc Guehi from going to Liverpool, but it says now looking at other options. So that means we're looking at other options. So we're still going to go ahead with this. We're still going to go ahead with this.
We don't.
Is it that much of a
With 2 hours left.
Well,
2 hours left. How's that going to happen?
Let's be honest. Rob Dorset ain't the main guy who knows about this.
He's
deal.
not. That's the only thing to take it from that.
That's what I said earlier on. That's what I said earlier on. I was watching Sky Sports, and earlier on they did say Igor was going to be Guehi's replacement, and I laughed at it. But it kind of proved to be the case. That's what he said. He was on Sky, and he said that. And I said, "There's no way we're going to be this stupid as a football club."
I did see that. I saw that too.
Guehi with Igor. So we're saying that, but that's what Sky reported, and it was nearly true. It was nearly true. I just don't. I'm lost for words, people. I'm actually lost for words. You lot can talk. I can't. I genuinely can't talk. My head is just very hot right now because I never thought. Like, I know Steve Parish can be safe. I know like he wants to make sure he doesn't like taking risks. But
we're in Europe. We have the best team. Did you not see what? Wait, did we watch the same game yesterday?
I'm lost for words. That's what I'm confused about. I'm genuinely lost for words in terms of because he's not dumb. Like, I thought he's not dumb, but the fact that Igor first of all was going to be our replacement, I find that mental. And then, second of all, we're still trying to find a replacement. Which your manager should I find the quotes from Oliver Glasner, what he said yesterday about Guehi and saying we cannot lose him by any because it's so late in the window and we were meant to be a replacement in July. It's not even about the replacements at this point. It's about the timing. But let's look at the replacement itself. The replacement itself is a piss take. Not even, like it's a combination of things. I don't know what he's doing. Sorry, Patrick. Go ahead.
No, that's the thing. I like the timing is so poor. Like Lou said, did he watch the game yesterday? See what we just did. We're 8th in the Premier League. We've made it to the Conference League. The league stage. We probably haven't had as good a start in the league in years. We overcame what the manager didn't want to have happen, which was bringing players late, not integrating to the side, not getting points. We've done all that. Yet we're going to end up selling Marc Guehi. And after, I don't know I know there's a spin in media, not a spin, okay? There's a view that Marc wants to leave. I don't care because he hasn't kicked up a fuss to leave. If he wants to leave, I get that. But he can still leave at the end of the season. It's not like he's got 3 years. It's not like the case of Isak. Isak has a long contract. If he stays at Newcastle, he's not going in. Marc leave end of the season.
And who's saying that? Sorry, Patrick, to cut you off. Who's saying that? Because I don't trust a lot of people.
Bobby Manzi said that Marc.
Okay, I love Bobby to bits, but where's that message coming from? That Marc wants to leave. As I said, I fell for the PR before and the stance and the excuses. I don't want to fall for it again. I love Bobby to bits, but of course, it's coming from Palace. is coming
Right.
from Palace. We have to sell
Right.
Guehi because
Yeah.
Guehi wants to leave.
Yeah,
I'm not falling for it again. You lot can't fall for it. I'm not falling for it. I felt.
Well, I said I
I've
wasn't.
been
I said I
before.
wasn't. I said
I'm
I
not
don't
falling
understand
for
it.
it.
Right.
I'm not
right.
falling for it.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's because
Right.
all along, Guehi, all along through this window, Guehi's open to leaving. Personal terms have been agreed, but
Yep.
he's also happy to stay at Palace. And it seems
Which one is
realistic
it?
because of the fact that he's going to be playing week in, week out, playing European football, World Cup year, and next year he'll go on a free. That's what we've known all along. But all of a sudden, in the last 24 hours, Guehi wants to leave. He handed in, a transfer request? What did he do? What has he said? I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Maybe you lot do, and that's fine. You lot can believe it. But I'm not going to believe the fact that it's coming from Palace that all of a sudden Guehi wants to leave. Because once again, Parish is not dumb. Parish knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He knows the reaction.
No, you're right. So like I said, I just do not understand that you could have the manager come out before Frederick started, after Frederick started, and yesterday, and make it very, very clear that you cannot sell him. We don't have a replacement. It is one thing if you have a replacement, Pavlovich, Diamande. You can say to Oliver, listen, I know it's late in the window, but I have this player. I know you're happy with that player. We don't have a replacement. You cannot tell me your idea was to get a Brighton player of any ilk. I wouldn't even have taken their best centre-back with all due respect. Because it's our biggest rival, optics are really bad. So forget a Brighton player in general, even though they have excellent players. It just looks stupid. But then I heard yesterday the Sassy from Chelsea. Not great, but you have now, with this failed medical or whatever, turn-in decision, you have nobody to come in. In the chat, I see, yes, we are going to get that kid, Jason Envo. He will be signed. Get done. He's 19 years old. He's not the replacement, okay? Riyadh is injured. We all know if Riyadh was fit, this is a fact, he was the Guehi replacement. That's why we bought him last year. He's left-footed. He plays on the left side, but he's injured. So we have no replacement. You cannot seriously sell Marc Guehi for 35 million, not 50 million. By the way, you've got the upper hand. At least charge them more if they really want him. We didn't even raise. What are we doing? What are we doing? I don't understand the plan. It's right, as Hippie says, it's embarrassing, man. I don't understand the plan. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I do not understand it.
I wonder how Glasner feels right now. I'd love to know that. And
you saw there was an article. Well, he's not the most reliable, but who's the guy that had the text the link?
I saw something that is extremely unhappy.
That Glasner is furious, and he's got an article coming out later. So,
that was Aaron's.
It was, right? Yeah. So my point is, if it's true, and I don't know if Aaron's is ever that correct. He used to have information, but I think it came from Texas. Unless Texas told him that. Oh, by the way, I heard that Glasner's upset. But why wouldn't he be furious? I'd be furious. We've seen him furious. He was furious after the Frederick start game. You see what interview he did post match, and when Parish came, he didn't even hand the mic. He handed it to Joe Ward to hand it to him. You know what I mean? He is furious, and has every right to be furious because this doesn't make any sense. This is an absolute farce. What we're doing now is a farce. It's an hour and 45 minutes before the window closes. We haven't announced the two players both are coming in, and we don't replace them for Guehi. But apparently, Guehi's going to Liverpool. What? Like what?
So the latest is that he's completed his medical, so everything's passed there. However, Palace have told him to hold. No paperwork has been signed as of yet. I guess that depends on replacement, which replacement, based on everything linking up together, was going to be Igor, who's now going to West Ham. So yeah, so it's currently on hold, the Guehi deal. But of course, there's other players that have been reported today. Solomon, seems like that deal's complicated. I'm happy with that. I don't want him at Palace. They want an obligation, whereas Palace want an option. So in terms of incomings, and then who else we got? Conor Gallagher. Seems like it's difficult, not going to happen. Uche and Cambot. So Uche and Cambot seems like the two signings are realistic right now, and Guehi isn't it a 50-50? I don't know who's going to be the replacement. I don't know what we're trying to do. And And yeah, it's the fact that it's fell to the last few hours is just absolutely ridiculous. But Xavier, in terms of Uche and Campo, what's your thoughts on those two? Should they be completed? I think they will be completed.
I mean, yeah, they both look promising, don't they? Canvo especially looks really, really promising. In terms of how good he looks on the ball, ability to cover ground, pace, power, breaking lines with his passing. Only 19 as well, and League One has a very good reputation in terms of, having really good young French talents, and he looks top. I can't lie. So he is quite exciting. Now if all this wasn't happening today, I'd be generally buzzing, get him in. I think, it'd be a top signing for us. I don't think obviously at this point a Marc replacement, given that he's only a teenager. I think he's only played about 14 professional matches at this point. Maybe it's 14 starts, but obviously he doesn't have the experience yet. But I am genuinely happy with this signing. I think it makes a lot of sense. And in the back three, he looks the goods. I can't lie. So happy to get him in, and the Uche guy looks promising as well. Haven't seen much of him. Haven't actually seen him play him. He looks very promising in terms of what he can bring in terms of his profile. I know he played deeper at Getafe as a defensive midfielder. Apparently, they pushed him to a striker at some point last season. Did really well there. And now he's playing there more regularly. But seems he can cover potentially as the number 9, as one of the 10 positions. Maybe he can even play a little bit deeper, as part of the pivot that we have. So both of them look like very promising, and generally I'd be buzzing over them, to get those guys in if, the farce today, wasn't going on. So yeah, I am happy with, those signings, but yeah, it's just with everything else going on, it's hard to, to be as, buzzing as I would be otherwise, to be honest.
Yeah.
This Rahman Osman thing.
Who?
The guy that was saying that that Eze wasn't going to start that time. Rahman Osman, he just said someone has just said Steve Parish is a weak chairman and he's allowing Glasner to control him with the Guehi deal off at the moment.
Someone said what?
A weak chairman. Wow. 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 Put
So
that on screen. I want to read it. Put that on screen.
The latest from Ed Aarons, by the way. Sorry, 2 seconds. The latest from Ed Aarons that just dropped a minute ago is that I understand that Palace decided against signing Igor Julio on loan due to an issue with his medical earlier, working on new targets to replace Marc Guehi, but his move to Liverpool still expected to go ahead as things stand.
How was he the replacement?
Ownership is so dark. Apparently, yeah.
How was he the replacement? I remember when I woke up this morning, I saw something about him potentially being backup so Gemini could go on loan, and I was like, that made sense to me. The fact that he was genuinely the replacement, like, it's just like I can't wrap my head around it. Like,
he was better replace a 19-year-old academy player, basically, and now he's
to go on loan.
What?
It's been an hour, and my head is just still gone.
Oh my!
Apparently, the Guehi deal, they're still expecting it to go ahead.
I'll let Nick come in for me.
All right, cool. All right, then. Let's bring on Nick. Nick, we've got less than 2 hours left till the window is over, but it seems like the drama isn't stopping. As I've just mentioned, the latest from Ed Aarons, I'm just checking all the other news in case something else drops, is that Guehi's situation is that it's completed his medical. The paperworks haven't been signed yet, but he's expected to still go. Palace working on replacements after Igor Julio from Brighton, his medical had a bit of complications, so now he's heading to West Ham. Your thoughts?
Well, previous transfer windows, we've had sat here really bored because nothing's happening. This is like the complete opposite, isn't it? I don't know how you've kept up with it all. I just heard you say about the Guehi thing. Is that an almost certain definite now?
Well, I can't believe it, but apparently, I just think if we don't have a replacement signed, surely he's not leaving. And I've repeated myself for the last half an hour.
I'm going to interject there, but somebody on Sky earlier, a couple of hours ago, mentioned somebody from one of the Milan clubs as a defender.
Yeah, he's not going to be joining because Milan need to sign 2 centre-backs. If they get rid of him, I think they got rid of 2 centre-backs already. So they're bringing in Joe Gomez. If they get rid of him, they're still short on numbers. That's not happening. It's just we were linked with him earlier on in the window, but it's not going to happen with 2 hours ago.
Not happening.
Yeah, Pavlovic ain't joining. Pavlovic ain't joining. That's why we went for the Brighton centre back. I thought the Brighton centre back. I was shocked when I first heard that because I was like, "There's no way that's going to be Guehi's replacement." I thought, "All right, we're playing in European football, so maybe we want 6 centre backs at a football club because Riyad is out injured. We've got European football." But no, the reality is, it seems like, Nick, that Brighton reject was going to be Guehi's replacement. That's how desperate we are for this £30 million and to piss off Glasner. Like, I can't believe this. I can't. I see Parish. I never expected him to be someone who's a bit dumb when it comes to decisions. I thought he's always smart.
Funny, isn't it? It's funny with him.
What?
It's funny. It's business first with him. And I don't know how much. I don't know if you can quantify. Sorry, talking over you. I don't know if you can quantify how much the season is worth if we keep Marc and do well, as Glasner said last night in his post-match comments. Is that worth 35 million? Or
well, if we finish high up the table and then do World Conference League, then it's going to get a lot of that money. By the way, that 35 million, we don't get all of it.
No, because
that goes to Chelsea.
Yeah.
So it's a case of,
and I think it's a fucking derisory amount as well, to be honest. Sorry for swearing, but it needed the emphasis. I think it's a derisory amount. Okay, perhaps we could have got more if we sold him last summer, but why not say, okay, let's just keep him till the January transfer window, and then okay, it gives us 3 months to have him while we sort somebody else out, and okay, it might cost us 10 million, but there's got to be other options unless Marc really wants to go.
We still have the power over him. That's a reality. How many times did Wilf want to go? How many times? In fact, he had a week of training. Was it under Hodgson? Because he wanted to go to Everton so bad?
Yeah.
But apparently I think Patrick said it came from Bobby Manzi, which I love Bobby to bits. I have no problem with him, but that's coming from the club, right? Bobby Manzi gets his source from Crystal Palace. All of a sudden, Marc wants to go. That's what I'm saying. There's always a PR. There's always an excuse in the way to make up for it. I don't for a second sense that Marc is desperate to leave Palace. I think he's open, but I don't think he's desperate. I don't think he's desperate at all. I don't think he is. And see, Parish, he hasn't been a bad chairman for us. That'd be ridiculous to say. But this is just stupidity. And for me, I feel like we've hit a ceiling, clearly, because I don't know how you come back from this, especially with Oliver Glasner and his comments. I wonder what Glasner's going to say next if we saw Guehi. They need to hold a press conference tomorrow because I want to hear his thoughts tomorrow. Not next week because of the international break. Because it's silly. It's absolutely silly to be doing this under our greatest ever manager. Greatest ever manager. We're trying to... How I felt, probably you're different, Nick. I felt like it's a middle finger being held to Glasner, a middle finger being held to some of the fans. Because Steve Parish ain't dumb. Like, I know he's not dumb. I know that he listens to the fans. Yeah. I know that he listens to the fans. I know he looks at social media. But the fact that he's still going ahead with this after what? Forget about us, right? Fans are part of the football club, but you shouldn't forget about it. Let's forget about us in a second for a second. Glasner said this for weeks now. He said this even yesterday after the game. We just cannot sell Guehi. It's not even about a replacement. It's about the timing. We don't have any proper time. He didn't say this yesterday, but he said this in pre-match press conference ahead of Villa. We don't really have time to train with the new players because of the Thursday to Sunday games. So these new players will have to get integrated whilst playing. And we saw how that worked out last year when we didn't even have European football. So he wants to pull the plug 2 hours ago in a window and upset our greatest ever manager. My question to you, Nick, is if it's not now, when will we ever push on? Because I feel like he's been exposed.
This is true, but I think now's a good time to actually, yes, Guehi going is a little bit of negative. Hello, I'm Heavy, and hello, Patrick. Nice to see you both. Let's just have a look at the positives, yeah? Okay.
Nick, 1 second. There's been two updates I want to bring you guys up to date on. Henry Winter is reporting that Maynard Solomon finalizing a loan to Palace from Spurs. So apparently we're going to get Maynard Solomon. And the second one is right here that Rexy put up. And that is that Sky Sports has just reported this. Palace have a long-term interest in AC Milan's centre-back, Strahinja Pavlovic. They are now actively exploring if a deal can be done for him with less than 2 hours of window remaining. I mean, this is like someone said. This is like Isaac staying at Newcastle. It's never going to happen. No, this package deal is never going to happen. But sorry, go ahead, Nick. I want to put that up. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was what I mentioned just now, wasn't it? About one of the Milan clubs, and as Dee said, well, if they're selling people, okay. So we got Solomon. Well, if Sar's done his hamstring, then that's good cover. I think that's a good bit of business. We haven't got him on loan, and we're not struggling around for another winger because we don't actually need them. We've got enough wingers. Yeah, the only thing we miss Sar for is perhaps filling in as a striker. Right, let's think about the positives. Okay, I'm fucking woeful about Guehi going, but we saw Pino last night. Okay, what a player he looks to be. I've already forgotten about Eza. Just watching him for 5 minutes last night. So that is one really good positive. Okay. We've got a much better cover goalkeeper in Benitez, haven't we? Useful when we got all the European games, domestic cups, or if Henderson gets injured. Sosa, he's going to take a little while to get in. But he likes to play in the back 3-5, doesn't he? And he likes to get the early crosses in. Now, is Uche completed yet or not? Is that a definite?
It's not complete. It'll get completed. But I'll be honest, Nick. The positives, Nick, they're going through one ear out of the other because their positives is a bare minimum for me. It's not positives. It's a bare minimum. We've signed a backup left wing back after not signing a backup left wing back for Tyrone Mitchell for the last 4 or 5 years. So we've done the bare minimum by signing someone for £2 million. We signed a backup goalie after losing Matt Turner. We signed Yeremy Pino after losing Eze for £67 million. That's a replacement. It's the bare minimum. This ain't positives. But I'm not getting at you, but I'm just saying, for me, they're not positive. This is what we should be doing anyways. It's not something to brag about. It's the club have signed players after losing players. That's what we've done. There's been no indication of this window that we want to push on. It's been the right opposite of it. Whilst after winning the FA Cup and Community Shield. What in this window?
I completely agree with you, but I'm also of a mind to think, well, actually, it's not over till the proverbial fat lady, Fat Marinakis sings. So,
we got an hour and a half left, Nick. Come on, who do you think we're going to
you know what? Like... You know what? Nick, I get where you're trying to come from, and I always try and take that point of view, and you guys know I've tried to be like pretty balanced, but I can't, in this case, I can't, because it's about, to me, it's not about that. It's about the manager. It's about how the manager's going to feel, and Steve Parish has basically spit in the face of Oliver Glasner with what he's doing because he's made it very clear, not once, not twice. On every time he gets to talk, he asks about Marc Guehi. He has made it very clear you cannot sell Marc Guehi too late in the window, and we don't have a replacement. So I get what you're saying, Nick. I like to take the positive view.
On the manager. That's what it boils down to, and you're going to have a lot of that. And there'll be many instances of this over the years of football where this has happened. He knows what the finances are. Okay. He's not going to be doing it to be stupid or to fucking annoy people. He wouldn't do it if he didn't need to have to.
He's doing it because it's tight. That's what he is. He's tight. That's why he's doing it. There's no PSR issues at Palace. We never ever tried to go over and beyond our means. Other football clubs, they go and sell this and that. They always try to push. They try to push and they.
Yeah,
and they
but we've been in administration twice. That's what he's scared of. He came in on relation.
I'm not going to debate with 2010. If we're going to go back to
Nick,
you want to be the next child, right?
I'm not saying that. It's going to affect him. It's going to affect the way he looks.
Nick, I get that. I get that. But it's 15 years in the Premier League. We just won an FA Cup. We're back in Europe. You could take a little bit of a chance. He's taking no risk. I get what you're saying, Nick. I really do. You know, I would understand it better than anybody that's either watching or... I get that, Nick. But at this point, we have... This is not Roy Hodgson. This is not Alan Pardew. This is Oliver Glasner.
No, I know.
It's the best thing he's ever had. And for him to act the same way he would act under Pardew or under Hodgson, it's unforgivable. You've got to understand you've got a better manager than you ever had, and yet you got lucky because you won the FA Cup. And I get it, a lot of luck involved. So I'm not asking this guy to spend what Forest spent, 200 million. Spend some money and back the manager.
Yeah, exactly.
There are no financial issues. There are no financial issues. There are none.
But we've got a manager who all his previous clubs have spent 2 years there and moved on. So is Steve Parish thinking, well, do I let this manager rule over me? And then he pisses off anyway. No, I'm not delusional, Steve. I'm trying to bring a bit of balance to the argument here, mate. Yeah.
And I think that is a fair point in terms of thinking about whether Glasner will be here long term. But regardless of that, you still have to sign a replacement much earlier on. You don't sell Guehi with an hour and a half left of the window. He still hasn't been confirmed. He still hasn't had the green light. Like, it's baffling. He still hasn't had the green light to leave. And that's Glasner's point. Glasner never really said we cannot lose Eze or Guehi. Well, there's no way we can lose them. His point has always been we're happy to lose them. In fact, he even said it in a press conference. I had to find a press conference. He said that we had these conversations in March. We sat down in March and we had a plan for the summer. And he said that our agreement was that we were going to sign the replacements early on and then afterwards get rid of the players. So that's the stance. And Steve Parish has failed once again. That's simple as he has failed again.
But I don't know the ins and outs. I mean, I don't know. I know Tim's the expert on the Palace finances and these environs. But how desperate are we for this 35 million? If we're getting the 35 million, how much of that are we going to spend to reinvest in the squad? And is that good business sense if they do manage to bring somebody in? If they do.
I want to find something, and I'm going to show it to all of you as well. In terms of our net spend, it'll be very interesting to see.
And the thing is, Nick, the replacement will cost a lot more than 35 million. A replacement for Guehi is not costing 35. Pavic's going to cost you 40. The Diamante will cost you 50. That's another thing. It's not like we were going to get like. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're not gonna be able to get a replacement for Guehi for 35 million. It's impossible.
We're even going to
70, 80 million.
Let me make it clear. I think it's absolutely ludicrous to lose him at this point, especially when we've got this European thing. We could possibly have the Europa thing as a result of it. I still think that our league place over getting the Europa place has possibly cost us as well. If we were in the Europa and we had a good chance of maybe winning that and getting to Champions League that way, then perhaps Guehi might have stayed. I don't know. It would have been a better competition, stiffer competition, rather than at 5 o'clock on Friday, on 5 o'clock on Thursday on Channel 5. I still believe that's done us up this transfer window as well.
Yeah, but it's a case of this. How I view it, Nick, is we either get £35 million. So Steve Parish had to make a decision, right? £35 million, or do you actually back your manager and take a gamble and say, you know what, keep Guehi, we sign Uche, we sign Canvot, we sign Pino as his replacement. We only lose one star player rather than 2 star players late in the window, and don't upset the manager and go for it this year. And if we end up winning the Conference League, then there's going to be even more European football, more money coming in, and also Premier League. Tim said it yesterday. The difference between 12th, finishing around 12th or 7th, it can add up to like 15 to 20 million pounds anyways. And keeping Guehi, there's a good possibility that we can finish high up the table to get our money back. But what Steve Parish is doing once again is playing it safe. So for that reason, I'm done. Because this was his time to prove himself, to say, you know what, I am right about wanting us to push on. But he's showing the total opposite right now. It's total opposite to sell your captain, your best defender, arguably your best player, with no replacement lined up, and just basically going left, right, center, trying to find a replacement and not having a proper plan. It's criminal. It's criminal behavior. I'm sorry. Last year, Glasner's done a fantastic job with this group of players. And of course, Steve Parish does play a part in that in terms of winning the FA Cup. But it was all Dougie's transfers. As soon as Dougie's left the football club, Steve Parish is getting exposed. He's getting exposed. Look at his window. Shambles of a window. But with Dougie at the football club, he had his right-hand man there. You know, Dougie was doing all the jobs and finding the players, and he done a fantastic job over it. But as soon as Dougie leaves, look at this window. Look at this window. This window has been pathetic. Even if Guehi was to stay, it's been pathetic from minute one. We started the season with only Sosa and Walter Benitez. And Sosa, we had to bring in. We don't have a left wing back cover. And we brought him in for, what, £2 million? And Benitez was a free signing. We spent £2 million after winning the FA Cup and Community Shield whilst playing European football. And then what happened? Walton's injured. Oh, Sar's injured. What's going to happen down the line? Our squad is finished as it is already. Because they didn't back him properly. This is a manager that's won the Europa League. If there's someone to listen to, it's going to be him. He's been there and he's done it. He's done it at Frankfurt. So he knows how to balance Europa League and league football. But wait, no. Once again, we have to be careful. 2 million, like, we have to be careful. We can't spend money. And we're going to pay for it. We are going to pay for it. And we've already paid for it. Villa game was great. Warren hopefully is nothing serious. Sar's nothing serious. But it's only the start of the season. And I think this could get worse in terms of muscle injuries when it comes to fatigue. Because these players, Glasner couldn't do anything. He only had, 13, 14 first-team players at the football club. And he has to use them. He has to use the players that is available, the best 11, the others, the Venny, Essay, and etc. He clearly feels like they're not ready enough. So he can't rotate. So we went into the season with no plan. It seemed like we had no plan. As soon as Dougie left, all the plans are gone. And for me, that's not good enough. That is not good enough. It's not good enough. Look at Bournemouth. They got rid of players, but they had a plan. They brought in players. They sold a lot of players, but they also spent good money to bring in players. Because there's a plan. Like, what are we doing? What are we actually doing? What are we doing as a football club? Seriously. What's the latest right now? What is going on now? What's going on? Who are we linked to now? Flipping. Where's Mamadou Sakho nowadays? Where is he? Is he around? Like, do we bring him back? Because there's no one else. Pavlovic is not going to happen. Less than 2 hours remaining in the window. We're never getting Pavlovic. I'll be shocked. Is Uche going to get announced? I don't even know. Hopefully they get announced soon. It's just, I'm not even saying it's a bad chairman, and I have to keep saying this. I don't think he's a bad chairman, but I think this is it. He's just...
This is a great quote. Patterson nightmare scenario after deal collapses, referring to Igor. We all joke about
Igor.
Is it nightmare?
Nightmare scenario because Igor. Who Brighton don't even want.
Right.
I don't know what to say anymore. Xavier, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to say anymore. I feel like until there's more updates, I'll wait for that. But I'm just curious to see what this other name is going to be because we're so keen on selling Guehi after Solomon. I don't know why we're bringing in Solomon as well. It makes no sense to me. But yeah. What do you say?
I mean, I don't mean to interrupt there won't be another name. The Pavlovic bit will be. We always have one sort of we tried kind of bit at the end.
Yeah.
And that'll be this. Yeah, 100%. Like we'll be the we tried, but the deal was too difficult to get done or couldn't get the payment structure right. It will be one of those. We always get one of those, and that's our one of those for this window. I thought it might be Gallagher, but it looks like it's gonna be Pavlovic.
By the way, if you haven't already done so, I'm gonna go through some comments. We'll go through. There's a lot of comments. There's about 500 people watching live, and I know people watch on replay as well. So if you haven't already done so, people, please hit the like button. If you're enjoying the stream, I know it's a bit heated. I know some people who are Parish might be a bit upset, but emotions are high because, I just feel like this was the moment to kick on, and we're doing the total opposite right now. Which is frustrating.
14 games unbeaten. Let's just keep things in perspective. We'll figure something out. We'll either go back 4 or stick Lerma at the back. Glasner will see a way through. He won't be very happy, but the season's not going to fall apart.
No, I'm not having this. I'm sorry, I'm not having that. I can't. I want to be positive too, Nick. I can't have this going to a back 4. We're supposed to back this manager. We're just selling off his best players.
Being tongue in cheek, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's just so. I know United, Nick. We've seen so much, man. This is ridiculous. Like again, it's not even about the player. It's about the manager. Like I'm so sick of like these rubbish managers we get at Palace. We trip over the best manager we've ever had. We get the FA Cup final, which again, nothing gonna change that part. But what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I've seen so much. So it's not like I've seen it. So selling the player doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. It's like I've seen so many bad managers at Palace. Peter Taylor, Steve Kemba. Well, I'm not going to say Roy because people got on about Roy because Roy actually kept us up. So I don't want to get into the whole thing with Roy. Didn't like the football, but he kept us up and all that stuff. But I've seen so many bad managers at Palace. I can't even do it. What's the guy who came from Ipswich? George Burley. I mean, what are we doing? You know what's going to happen? We are going to hire Gareth Southgate. This is what this is leading to, We're going to end up hiring Gareth Southgate and that horrific football they played at England. I can't take that. I can't go from the highs of Glasner to Southgate. I won't be able to handle it. Well, I will.
There's only one way that changes, though, in my opinion, and that's if the people at the top, if there's a change there. That's why, for me, as I said, Nick, I think you like Parish, and I respect your opinion.
I don't like him. I just think that
I'm done with him personally. As I said, it doesn't represent back of the nest. Everyone has their own opinions. As I didn't think many people would support him from who I spoke to back in the nest, but I know there's some people in the chat, for example, who still support him. I understand the reasons. As I said, he's not a terrible chairman, but I feel like he's hit his ceiling. But for me, Patrick, I see that happening until there's a change there, and I think that change has to be Steve Parish. So,
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So that's where I stand.
And
it shouldn't be like this. You know, that upsets me as well.
Club for longer than 2 seasons.
Huh?
Will that keep Glasner at the club longer than 2 seasons?
I think honestly,
I think Glasner is pissed off. I don't know. It depends who comes in. I don't know. I don't know.
Nick makes a great point because Glasner historically hasn't done that, but I really thought he was buying into like the whole Crystal Palace stuff. The way he talks, you know what I mean, Nick? I think he might have wanted to like break that mold. But again, listen, managers come and go, and he's a great manager, and he was going to get lured by a bigger club like Leverkusen, for instance. They just fired Erik ten Hag after like 2 months in charge. That's a great job for him to go to. So that's available. So I know what you're saying, Nick. He doesn't stay somewhere long, but doesn't mean he couldn't have stayed here longer, is my point. I know what you're saying, but he could have stayed. Hey, if he had a good relationship with the chairman, we did it. I mean, I'm not asking us to break the bank, break PSR rules or do anything silly, but all Parish should do was back the manager, and he would have been more inclined. But I know what you're saying. His contract ends at the end of the season. He was probably going to leave anyway. But
keeping Guehi would have been a £30 million signing in itself, because we're going to lose them right for next season. So it'd be £30 million that's gone. Like keeping Guehi alone would have kind of proven ambition, even though it would be the short term one. It would have proven ambition, but he just doesn't want to do. He just doesn't want to do anything. He just doesn't want to do anything. I don't know what else to say. He just doesn't want to do anything. Glasner did say, by the way, that he'll consider Palace to be one of the elite jobs. Of course, not like a top 6 job if we finish in the top 10. And I think if you keep Guehi, then he will consider himself at a very good job. I mean, the Premier League is the best league in the world. So unless a likes of I don't know, United or someone else, I don't know, a proper run football club came in for him, then, and if he showed ambition, then I think there is a good chance that he would have stayed. I think the clubs that he left, for example, Frankfurt is not a small club, but the Bundesliga is different to the Premier League. Everyone wants to come Premier League. Look at Pino. Pino left Champions League football in Spain because he wants to play in the Premier League, and now he's playing Conference League with Palace because the Premier League is the best league, and Glasner's already here, and he's already said it. If Palace finish in the top 10, then I consider it to be one of the elite jobs in world football. And the only way to really do that is by keeping your captain. So we just put, as I said, we just the finance. Look, I think if Guehi said, I don't think the club's going to be bankrupt.
I've got some update here. I've got me Chat GPT giving me updates, and according to BBC Sky off the Athletic, Guehi to Liverpool, 35 million deal agreed, medical logistics in London prepared, but Palace won't green light without centre-back cover.
Well,
I don't believe that.
The opposite. That makes sense. That would make sense for, if you want to be sensible, you don't let your captain and your centre back England international go if you don't have a replacement. But it just seems like according to Ed Aarons, that's still not gonna be the case. Hopefully that is the case. Even if he stays on Nick, I think I've already said this to you. I think for me, I'm still done with Parish. I'm still done. But yeah, that's my stance. Go ahead.
There's another Ed Aarons update. Told that Crystal Palace hopes of signing Wang Hee-chan are looking very unlikely, despite Wolves signing a new striker today and keeping Strand Larsen. So I don't know if we're actually going to still be in for him with Uche, but we're not going to get him. But
that was clear days ago. They already said that they're not going to sell him.
I know it, but he just tweeted it, so I figured I'd read it. So
yeah, there's been no other further updates ever since the Palace are going after Pavlovic with less than 2 hours left. So let's see if bomb drops with Pavlovic. Let's see if a bomb drops with Pavlovic. I mean, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to say. People, this is the only deadline day show I've actually signed silence. Like I don't what and I like what do we say any further? Where Uche hasn't been announced, and there's actually things going on. We've had deadline day shows where there's nothing going on. We've actually talked for 4 or 5 hours, but this deadline day show, my head is just hot. My head is hot, and I'm trying to stay calm, but I just can't remain calm. I just can't remain calm. And I'm just waiting for an update. I just feel like everyone here, there's over 500 people watching. Everyone just here, just waiting for the next news. Can it get any worse? Can it get any worse? We're just waiting to see.
Because it's so early in the evening, and it's normally 11 o'clock, isn't it? And you still like to be outside having your ice cream and stuff, didn't you? This weather.
Ice cream. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I've had ice cream. Hold on. There might be an update though. Let's see. Let's see if we've actually signed someone. Hold on. Oh yeah, JD Canva, according to Santi JFM, has signed a long-term contract with Crystal Palace, but it hasn't officially been confirmed by the football club. But I mean, we're already expecting that anyways. We need I've always said it. I feel like we need a centre back, regardless of Guehi leaving or joining, because we're low on numbers there. So yeah, it seemed like JD Canva, which he was happening days ago. He came over for his medical, signed a long-term deal. Just wait for an announcement there. What else have we got? We got Uche. We'll see if he signs a long-term deal as well. Maybe that news drops.
Sorry, D, just to interrupt quickly, because Ornstein just tweeted. Underwent the medical, move in jeopardy due to issues finding an adequate replacement. So talks now between him and Glasner to make the final decision. So Ornstein just tweeted that.
Yeah, Ornstein just tweeted, literally 45 seconds ago. So he went. As you said, he's done his medical, but the move is in jeopardy. So the talks between Guehi and Glasner. Oh my days!
Why is Glasner involved? Why is Glasner involved in that?
Yeah, Parish is the head here. Deal with this, Oliver. If you want to,
you guys go figure it out. That's not Glasner's job now. What's he going to say to Guehi? Can you please stay? Like, Mark, can you please stay now?
Mark.
We need you. What are we doing? Are we at the Premier League club? Are we like a League 2 club? What is that? The management and the player are talking.
Parish, instead of Guehi and Glasner speaking, Parish should go and speak with Glasner and he'll get his final answer. That's the manager, right? And he will tell him, you cannot sell him, because he said that many times. And that's it. Deal over. Deal dusted.
Because, this is it. Right here, look, that's good. If he's up to Glasner, he's going to stay, right? Okay, great. He's staying. I mean, what are we doing? That don't make any sense. This is a circus. You get the clown music, anybody.
It feels like this. It actually feels like this. Hold on.
That's the first time you've smiled, dear.
The reason why I'm smiling is because because I'm getting so mad. It's so dumb how we get run.
What else?
It's
like what else do you do? Yeah, what else do you
tell him then. You tell him then. You tell him. Like what?
It'll be like that time Elise. We all thought he was going to go, but he ended up signing a new one.
You don't understand my point. But Nick, you don't understand my point. I might not be as mad, but I still feel like my stance is not going to change on Steve Parish after this until things change. So my stance is going to be like this until I see a change in Steve Parish in terms of signings on time, early signings, and more ambition shown. Because this window has shown the opposite of that. If those two things change in terms of signing players, we'll see. I don't think Oliver Glasner.
Why didn't we get the signings, Dee? What were the reasons this summer? It was the whole European thing. I'm not trying to make excuses.
No, it wasn't.
But there's always
it was a cash flow thing, according to Parish, was it not? Not European thing. Hold on. Also, let me ask you. Yeah, it's a cash flow thing because we spent more money on players with no European football. Are you telling me we can only spend £2 million whilst deciding? And also, how comes we didn't bring in an Eze replacement before Eze left the football club? Then
I'm not well-versed enough, but aren't there different rules for the European competition regarding finances?
I'll be very interested to know what financial rules we're breaking when there's other football clubs out there playing European football, spending much more. I would be so curious to know what financial rules we're breaking. But as I said, Nick, there's always going to be an excuse. I've become accustomed to this. I feel like you should get used to it as well. There's always going to be an excuse in terms of this is why we can't do that. This is why we can't do this. This is why. That's why I feel like Parish is not a bad chairman. He's not a bad chairman, but this is his ceiling. That's my stance. And that's not going to change with Guehi leaving or staying, because this man was genuinely thinking of getting rid of Marc Guehi and bringing in Igor. That was happening. And now all of a sudden it's in jeopardy. Hold on. Why is it in jeopardy, Nick? Why is this move in jeopardy when the medical is being complete and when Guehi, here we go, he's going to be joining Liverpool? Oh, wait, Igor's not coming to us. So you're telling me Igor was going to be the man? For that alone, that's criminal. Like, there's no plan in this window. It's been an utter failure. Like,
it's a bit scattergun, isn't it?
What?
It's a bit scattergun, isn't it?
It's ridiculous. It's just, I don't know. I don't think we know what we're doing. And that's worrying. That is worrying.
That's Palace way, though, isn't it, D? Muddle through.
I mean, that's not a reasonable excuse. That's the Palace way. So what, are we just going to be content with mediocrity because Palace do stupid stuff? There's no excuse for us to do what we've done in this window. By the way, Glasner, I don't want to keep saying it. Glasner never said he doesn't want to get, like, he's going to leave the club if Guehi leaves. Glasner's stance is, he didn't say he's going to leave the club regardless. But his stance has always been that we signed a place early. We had a meeting in March. We were going to sign the replacements early. They were going to have pre-season. Then Guehi and Eze could leave. That's been his stance. So I don't think that's a crazy demand. That's pretty normal. You know, you're going to lose your 2-star players. You're going to bring in 2 players or 3 players. How many you're going to bring in? You bring them in early. But we didn't do that. Failure. That's what it is. Well, let's see. Let's see the further updates from it. But yeah, it seems like the Guehi deal is in jeopardy right now, and talks between 25-year-old and manager Glasner to make final decision. So yeah, we're gonna have to see on that. But if you haven't already done so, people, subscribe if you're new. We will be dropping a new video on Jeremy Pino on Wednesday. I spoke to Villarreal Fan TV, so that was good insight. And of course, tomorrow the player ratings will drop. We didn't drop it today because of all the transfer news. Yeah, all the transfer news that's been going on. I don't think it was appropriate. I don't think anyone really is gonna focus on player ratings today. So hopefully tomorrow, when things calm down, it should be a bit better. Oh my days! But yeah, he's joined Liverpool. He hasn't joined Liverpool. He's joined Liverpool. He hasn't joined Liverpool. He's joined Liverpool. That's why it feels like going around in circles. I don't even know at this point. But we've got an hour left. It doesn't feel like it because we're approaching 6 o'clock, but we're approaching an hour left till the window's shut.
Do you know what, D? And what's important? This comment here is important. Pardon, let me scroll up a little bit. There's a comment in the chat about this whole episode has been very distracting, and Has9 is right. We've been distracted by Guehi, but the squad is so light and no one come in yet. 1 hour left. Now I know we're gonna announce Uche and Campbell, but even that, we're still gonna be light at number 10 and maybe another midfielder. We're not gonna get Gallagher. So it's really, really, it's shocking. I mean, again, I get the fact that we had the CAS or the UEFA stuff. We had Dougie leaving issue. We had the Texter, Woody Johnson all summer. But this is not the way you end the transfer window and start the season. This is just it's a joke, man. I don't understand how have we gotten to this point.
How do we recover from this? How does Parish recover from this with Oliver Glasner? Because to me, I don't think Glasner's happy about today or even how the window's gone. How can he recover? Can he recover from this? I'll start off with you, Xavier.
You mean the relationship between the two?
Yeah.
No, I think it's irreparable at this point, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, I just don't see a way he can come back from this. Like, just it's been very clear in the media, right? In terms of, we can't sell Marc unless we get someone in. He said that 3-4 times in the last, 2 weeks, right? And at the beginning of the summer, made clear that if, we get rid of Marc and Ebbs, that we need to get people in early doors. And, obviously that didn't happen as well. So I think, at this point, it's hard for me to see the relationship being, ever mended, to be honest with you. Obviously, I would love that to be the case. And, Glasner sign on long-term, beyond the season. But I already had resigned myself, after the business, the first couple of months that, he's probably going to leave. I don't think that had to be the case. I know a lot of people think, he hasn't been many places, very long. But, like you were saying with that comment he made, if we became a top half club in the Premier League, he would see us as one of the, the best clubs in the world and, would, stay. Right. But I think the way that, we've operated, because Parish will do this type of thing again, right? Like you said, D, and been saying, there's always an excuse, why we can't take a chance, potentially to try and get ourselves to the next level. Yeah. And so something next summer, what happens? Something in January might happen. I just think, there's always going to be something, right? And I think, the way today is gone, even if Marc does end up staying, I think, with Glasner, I think, the way we've operated, especially today, I think is not going to be something that he's going to let go. I would love it for him to be, and obviously I'm just speculating, right? But I think it's irreparable at this point. And to be honest, I don't really blame him. So yeah.
Oh, I'm on mute. My bad. I was literally talking to myself. I was gonna say, yeah, Fabrizio Romano saying the same thing as David Ornstein. We've got a decision. We've got an hour left to make a decision. We've got an hour left to bring in a player and also to make a decision whether we want to sell Guehi or not. Like, what is going on? The window shuts in an hour, not 11 p.m. today. We didn't jump on early because we want to talk like 8-9 hours. The window genuinely shuts in an hour. It's earlier this year. We've got an hour left to decide on whether we want to get rid of our captain and bring in a replacement. I can't. This is just crazy. This is actually just crazy works. I genuinely can't believe this.
It feels like a pump fake.
Yeah, like this feels like it can't be real. Like we're getting trolled. Surely it's like someone's gonna come out and say prank. It's never gonna happen. It was a prank. Chill out, guys. But I'm waiting for someone to come forward and say it's a prank because right now it seems like
Ed of the Arsenal fan trolling Spurs.
Yeah, he had that, but then he didn't end up even going Spurs himself, and then Spurs signed someone else. It's crazy. It's actually.
I'm so glad it's shutting at 7 p.m.
Yeah, it is. It is. Who's got access to the comments? Lou, have you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Can you just go through the comments a bit? See what the latest is with the comments.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of comments. Shout out to everyone as well sending your comments. There's a lot of people. There's about 500 people watching live, so really appreciate you all.
Is there? I don't know.
Huh?
Is there a deal sheet so we have more time? I think we're trying to stop deals, not do them.
Yeah, not make deals. Well, it depends on who you're talking to. But yeah.
How are we going to get the player we go for? Listen, these are all questions I have no answer to.
It's actually crazy.
We shouldn't be surprised.
Not this bad. Not this level bad. I mean, last year it was the opposite. Last year we kept Guehi towards the end of the window and we turned down big offers. So it's like, this is just crazy. This is crazy. This hasn't happened like this before. It just feels silly. It feels silly right now. Yeah, I don't want Solomon either, boys. I don't know if he's going to be joining. Twisted's birthday. Shout out to Twisted.
Hope you have a bad day.
Well, you can't say that. That's rude, bro. You can't say that to Twisted. Happy birthday, Twisted. Don't worry, you just rattle you a lot, so you just get to push me. Nah, shout out to you, bro. That's funny.
Hopefully, no one said happy birthday.
Huh? Oh, that is funny. That's a funny shit. I can't lie. I have no reason to laugh, but I can just tell it just like that came from the heart. Oh, that came from the heart. But yeah, breaking news about Guehi's transfer to Liverpool is in jeopardy. It's up to Palace to make the decision. We've got an hour to make the decision. I'm bringing a replacement as well. So yeah, I don't know if that's going to be done in time. But Uche, let's see. Uche is going to be good when he's announced. Like, you know what? If we kept Guehi, brought in Uche, Canva, I think that was like promising. You know, if we just said no today, we said, all right, you know, it's the last day of the window, we're not going to sell Guehi, rather than doing all this foolishness where we're just waiting. We're just waiting for an hour to see if we're going to sell our captain. Like, if Steve Parish done that, then I'll be like, all right, fair enough. Like, he actually stood strong. He realized you cannot sell this guy with a day left, or less than a day left in the window. But he done the opposite, which I think ruined a lot of stuff.
I've heard it on the grapevine, D, that Steve Parish has got this on in the background in his office, and he heard your heartfelt pains and anguish. And
hey, it's not me. It's not me. It's a lot of the fan base. It's a lot of the fan base.
Yeah, I know. You're their voice, man.
Huh? Some people would be happy with it. Some people would be happy with it. You know, some people are not against it, and I understand their thought process, but I just respectfully disagree. I don't really care about the £35 million, especially where we have no replacement, and Oliver Glasner doesn't want that to happen. So yeah, I guess we're gonna find out in literally an hour. We'll be able to find out if Guehi's here or going. But if it is Guehi staying, Uche and Canva, you know, joining on top of Pino, is that a good window? Is that a good window, Lou? Because of course you was upset as well. You're saying that Steve Parish. What's that noise, by the way? There's a lot of background noise. It's coming. Who's that coming from? What up? Yeah, it's coming from you, Lou. Fix your mic. There's just lots of noise. I don't know what's going on. I'll put you on mute. Let's go over to you, Nick, with that question then. If you know, Guehi stays, Canva, the young centre back 19-year-old joins, which seems like it's going to happen, and Uche also joins, which is a versatile player that can play midfield, attack, and up front. Is that a good window for us?
Yeah, but I was trying to say they were positive earlier, and you wouldn't have it and said there are no positives in the window. But I think looking at Pino yesterday with his cameo appearance, what a fantastic looking player. I do get a bit worried. Perhaps he might get the odd yellow card here and there, like Hughes. But like I said earlier, I think he's an ideal replacement, although not the same as, but somebody to help us forget Eza. The other players are a good central midfielder who can play forward well, yeah? Is that the Uche?
Yeah, Santos, yeah.
Yeah.
Uche, the Nigerian international, coming from Getafe.
Yeah, that's the one. And Canvo, I don't really know much about. Is he one for the future?
Yeah, I think so.
Left centre back. See, that's the thing. I mean, is he good enough to have a baptism of fire if Guehi does go?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure yeah, I don't think he is. I don't think he's ready yet. So,
but it's not. I mean, we could do with a couple more players just to bolster the squad, considering, you know, we could have had 12 subs on the bench in Norway last week and we had 7. That's Glasner sending a message, isn't it?
Well, is it really sending a message? Who doesn't really have? Who didn't really have, Nick? Is it a message, or is it just a case of that's a reality of the situation?
Yeah, all right, fair enough. So you got a point there.
Like who did he have?
Yeah, and we've also got the Solomon chat from Spurs. I don't know if he's any good or not.
Yeah, I'm not too. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think we need him. I don't want him as well.
Well, how's Sar's injury?
We don't know. We're gonna find out today. He's had his scan, right?
And how come I thought Francis was injured, but I saw earlier that he's been picked for a match?
Yeah, that's funny. He was playing yesterday. France, that's always injured for Palace. Yesterday he came out and he started playing. He's playing over in Brazil. I think he's homesick. I don't think he was injured. I think we were just trying to cover his back. But it doesn't look right. How on earth is a player so injured for us? All of a sudden, he goes out on loan and he starts playing. It makes no sense. And I think with France, we're kind of giving up. I'll be surprised if he has a future at Palace. It kind of reminds me of Raksaki and SA situation. And what's happening with them, by the way? What's happening with Raksaki? Did we just give up because we were so focused on Guehi? Like, are they leaving? Edouard is actually meant to leave as well. We haven't actually spoke about players leaving, but Edouard leaving for about 5 million euros max. It might be less than that, Xavier. For me, it's just a case of getting him off the wage books. That's good enough, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever we can get for him, just take. I don't understand what's going on with Jez. To be honest, it's very clear that Glasner doesn't rate him. So it's a bit confusing to me how he hasn't been able to leave yet. I saw some talks about a loan, which doesn't make any sense to me, unless there was some sort of obligation to buy. At the end of it, and the clubs that we're dealing with, just can't get the finances sorted right now. That would make sense, but he should go as well. It seems it's very clear that he wants to go. And Glasner doesn't rate him, so I don't understand that. And then Ahamad as well. Obviously, Glasner has no plans for him either. So whatever we can get for him, we should just take that bit as well. Yeah, it's a bit confusing because like you're saying, D, it's just we've been so caught up with Guehi that there's so many ins and outs that we haven't even discussed. Just in terms of balancing the squad, balancing the books and all that. So yeah, it's a bit confusing. I haven't heard anything about other than Oldson this morning. I haven't heard anything about anyone else leaving, and just a bit surprised that Ahmad and Jez haven't gone yet. So I guess we'll see. Something could happen, in the next 55 minutes. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, those two.
Yeah, it is a weird one. But I mean, Edouard leaving is reportedly on £90,000 a week, Nick. That would be a positive step. I'd be happy with that because there's no point of keeping a player which clearly isn't rated by anyone at a football club.
Didn't he refuse to play as well or something in Norway? Or
I don't know if he did refuse to play. I didn't hear that, but I wouldn't be surprised because you don't want him to get injured, right? Because he's clearly not rated.
Well, good luck to him anyway. He gave us some moments. Those 2 goals against Spurs in his debut. I seem to remember him scoring one against Leeds when we stuffed them 5-1 away, and his goal at Fulham. I can't remember if that was 1-1 or 1-0 to Palace. Do you remember that one? Ball played through to him for him to run onto. But those were kind of the only goals he could score, weren't they? Sorry, that's the ice cream man there going.
Yeah. I was wondering, it's getting closer and closer. I was wondering how loud it was going to get. It just had a little drive-by. That's funny. Is that why you're talking about ice cream?
No, well, I didn't know that was going to come in the future, did I?
You kind of manifested it. You were talking about ice cream about me. You're the one that's going to be going and getting it. You might as well grab an ice cream. You might as well go and have ice cream to lighten up the mood. Let's see if there's any other updates from this.
How long we got left?
No.
54 minutes.
54 minutes to sign Uche, Canva, which hopefully I think both of them should be complete. It's more about announcements. But the big thing right now, with an hour left of the window, is Guehi. What on earth are we going to do? The latest, as you can see, is down to the player and manager. Jeez, it is not a nice position to be in. It is not a nice position to be in. So let's see what we actually do in regards to that. I'm just looking for further updates now. Nothing so far. What do you reckon? What do you reckon is going to happen in terms of the Guehi stuff? Do you reckon he stays or goes? I'll start off with you, Xavier.
Honestly, I generally have no idea at this point. I can see it going either way. But I mean, if the bit about that Ornstein said was true in terms of it's coming down to the player and the manager, I think he'll end up staying because as I've said already on the show, and I think it's pretty clear that Parish wants to sell. There's more focused on the business side of things and getting the 35 million instead of losing him for a free next summer. So it seems to me if it came down to him it would get done, but I generally have no idea at this point. Like I really don't. And there was a bit about if it's hinging on us getting a replacement. I can't see that happening, to be honest. So if that's also what it's hinging on, I don't think we get anyone over the line before in the next 50 minutes. So yeah, if that's what it comes down to, then yeah, I think he stays. But honestly, I genuinely have no idea at this point. It's on a knife's edge, it feels. So we'll see, but I don't know.
Nick,
I haven't got a clue. We haven't got a clue, have we? Really? I think Glasner. I just hope Glasner can convince Parish and also the other owners and try and get them to convince Parish, because football club owners aren't really in it for the money, are they? They're in it for the glamour. And
Well, nowadays, yeah, but it doesn't. I don't know. I don't know what's the plans with our owners.
And bollocks, sorry, strawberry mivvy, thank you, is my favourite ice cream.
So, what was you saying? You said they're not in it for the money. So, do you think he stays or goes?
I don't know. It's look, all we can do is guess, and but if we got no cover for him, it's a shit show. It really is a shit show. And whilst I was going along earlier saying, you know, Parish might have to balance budgets and whatnot with the PSR and balance sheets over different 5-year periods. So I've got no idea where that fits in. But to lose him is just stupid.
Yeah,
really stupid. Unless you've got something in place.
And you're Mr. Positive, remember. So you're saying this. You're the positive one, and you're admitting it.
No, I'm just saying it's sad to see. But then last season we lost Elise and we lost Anderson, and we were doing our pieces. You know what happened there?
Yeah, true. But I think we didn't lose.
And I do genuinely think Pino is going to be a plus on Eza. I think it's an improvement.
Well, let's see.
I can only say on 5.
What do you make of Pino, Xavier?
I thought the cameo yesterday, I thought he was brilliant, to be honest. Looked very sharp. You know, his little touches around the corner. He looks like a good dribbler, you know, which we need in the side. That run he had at the end when he played in Lerma, that would have been, you know, a brilliant way to cap off a debut with that, you know, assist. He looks great. And, you know, for the fee, we've got him. Was only a little bit over £20 million. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with that signing. And again, you know, generally some of the signings that, you know, we've made and some of the ones that, you know, we're rumored to make, you know, with Canvo and Uche, genuinely good signings. So it's a shame, you know, the bit that's going on now with Mark and, you know, how today's been handled. You know, it's been a bit of a dampener on that. Not a bit. It's been a massive damper on that. But yeah, he looks good. He looks really good. I'm really excited to see, you know, he continues to bet into the side. I think the international break is coming at a good time. You know, not only you know, the players getting a bit of a rest, but, you know, giving us, you know, some more time to bet in, you know, the players that we end up getting and, you know, going again in a couple of weeks. But yeah, he looks really good. I'm very excited for him.
Yeah. And Nick, you think he's going to be better than Eze already?
I like what I see. He seems to want to get involved more than Eza does. I think he'll be more productive. All right. We've seen him in the training videos. He's just got magic legs, hasn't he? He's like got those wibbly wobbly legs that can get past people, and it's good to see a player like that. Yeah, better than Eze. Well, I'm hoping he's better than Eze. But on that performance, I think Eze, all right, is a spring player, isn't he?
Yeah,
he likes the warm weather. And he doesn't come on till the end of the season. We always had that, didn't we? Although he carried it on with the Charity Shield. Was anybody at the game yesterday that saw Guehi at the end? I didn't see if he just said goodbye. So my dog's just farted as well. Sorry.
What the hell?
Fucking hell, Jarvis. But did he sort of make?
I never. Just quickly, sorry, going a bit off topic. I've never had a dog. Does a dog fart smell different to a human fart?
Yeah.
Is it like more aggressive?
Well, smellier.
But some human farts can be very smelly as well.
There he is.
You showing your dog is not going to make me know his fart stinks.
I know, but it might double the numbers of watching this. Put a dog on.
I've never had a dog, so I don't know. Well, that's interesting. So, okay. Anyway, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off about your dog. We're talking about farts. Yeah, there's an hour left. We're talking about farts. I'm waiting to see if our captain is going to leave the football club. That's where we're currently at with the latest transfer news. But sorry, what was you saying, Nick?
Yeah, look, we can only surmise again, can't we? And see what happens. We don't, but regardless of Guehi, we still need to get a couple more people in to make me happy, just for the depth, unless there's somebody that we don't know about that is thinking of bringing through, and making part of the 25-man squad, or however many you need for the European competition.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. Even Canva hasn't. I get a bit worried about what do you call it? I get a bit worried when it comes to Palace and transfer news. I just want an announcement about the Canva centre back. It seemed like reports were suggesting it's completed the deal, but apparently the Athletic. I saw someone say the Athletic haven't confirmed it. Of course, Athletic are a reliable source. Oh my days! We just have to make sure they. Oh, apparently, coming from. Oh, do you want to hear worse news? I've got them for you.
Fuck's
So,
sake.
coming from Liverpool sources, so I don't know how reliable they are. There's a fear Oliver Glasner could walk if Guehi sold. Guehi has completed his Liverpool medical, and there's an agreement between the clubs and the player. Oliver Glasner is having last-minute talks, as first reported by David Ornstein. Marc Guehi wants his move.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. Keep it up. Exactly. Keep it up, Palace. Keep going. Keep going as it means. Keep going. Great. Did you hear that, Nick?
I hear the Benny Hill music when I think of Steve Parish now. It's one for teenagers.
Hopefully it's not true. Hopefully it's
I
not.
mean, who is this guy?
He's a Liverpool source, so maybe it could be Liverpool pressuring them. He's got about 500k. I think he's a pretty reliable Liverpool source, so I don't know. But it wouldn't surprise me. But it would. I mean, even if he doesn't walk, he's not signing a new contract. It's all over. It's all over.
Yeah, I know you don't like Steve Parish, but he has said in the past that 95% of what you read in the paper is bullshit.
Yeah.
And it is. We know this.
Not 95%. But I'm not believing this. I'm just saying.
97%.
No, I think a bit less than that.
Nearly 4?
Huh?
94?
Trying to find a I don't know, Nick. I don't know the percentage.
Well, look, get it off the screen because I don't like it. I don't want to keep seeing it. Let's pretend it doesn't exist.
Okay, we'll pretend it doesn't exist. But yeah, at least it's coming from a Liverpool source, right? That's a positive. So hopefully, just Liverpool trying to pressure us selling it. But regardless, even if he goes, if it doesn't go, I don't think it's going to be very hard for him to sign a new deal at this point because I just think it's been a PR disaster the whole day for us.
Hippie's just said that that's a recycled story. It's been going around all week.
Okay. So hopefully that is the case. Sorry, 2 seconds. I'm just looking at something right now. But yeah, man, what a deadline day. What a deadline. I'm loving this so far. Hambo, come in.
All right.
Woo! Are you
How you
excited?
doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
so
mean,
much. I've been sorry I was delayed. I've been in negotiations with Wycombe Wanderers, but as it happened, we just got stuck and couldn't agree personal terms. I wanted 15 grand a week, and they wanted me to pay them 10 grand a week. So we just couldn't find an agreement on that, really. So
there any
it's
sense
disappointing.
Not what I heard. That's not what I heard.
What did you hear?
the job when it turned out it was West Wycombe Wanderers, so you didn't go for it.
Well, Nick, that is not going to be commented on at this time. I don't know. My camera's also sort of diagonal, or I'm diagonal. I'm not sure. One of those two things. Anyway, so listen, I've been on an unplanned trip to Wickham, obviously. So what's going on? We signed, was it 5 or 6 so far, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, and Guehi signed a new 5-year deal.
Yeah. No, all joking aside, last I saw was that the deal was probably off because we haven't signed Brighton's 6th choice centre back.
Every time I hear it, every time I see it, every time I hear it, I just laugh because we were actually your thoughts on a Hambo because you know I've lost my head the last hour and a half.
But that's what you do.
Exactly. I'm struggling right now to comprehend the thought of us selling our captain and signing Igor. So that was our plan. Your just thoughts on that because maybe I've just been too emotional. But what on earth were we thinking?
So I'm going to say this: at no point today did I think that was the plan. I thought the plan was, if you think about the injury to Riyadh, we don't really know if he's coming back anytime soon, right? We are light at centre back cover when you're having to rely on, Klein played the other day, obviously not a full game, but came off the bench. We're very, very thin on the ground. So to me, it would have made perfect sense buying a centre back for the future, and then getting somebody with some experience in. And I just thought that's what we were doing. As far as I'm concerned, and I don't know if there's anything official to say otherwise, but as far as I was concerned, the signing of Igor was a squad building exercise. So the idea to me that was actually, no, that's our Premier League ready replacement for Marc Guehi, is laughable and pathetic and just frankly, offensive. So I'm not, as you know from talking yesterday, I'm not unsympathetic to the challenge that the club has with get the position on Guehi. If Guehi says that he wants to go, which by all accounts he said he wants to go and said so after Villa. So if he says that, and you could have to respect the fact that those are his wishes. But you also have to respect the fact that he is under contract. So we don't have to let him go. We just have to make sure that we look into it and we try and be as fair as possible, and we try to do the best thing for the club long term, right? So the manager and the chairman are not necessarily in agreement about what the best thing for the club is long term in terms of selling Marc Guehi. I think Glasner's been very, very specific, hasn't he? Which he said was he knew that the situation could be we have to sell Marc Guehi because of the contract. He's not going to sign a new one, so he knew we'd have to sell him. But we needed to do something about that earlier. But I think to just play a bit of devil's advocate, Steve Parish and everybody can't do anything about whether or not a formal bid is going to come in and when it's going to come in. So if Liverpool just decide to do what they did, which is play the absolute most cynical game that they can possibly play, which is unsettle the player all summer, talk to him and his representatives all summer, have a little nibble now again with the club, but never really put anything in front of us until the absolute last moment. It's a horrible position to be because in a normal circumstance, somebody comes in for a player under contract and gives you less than a couple of hours to sort it out. It's easy. You just say no, like we did with Wilf countless times. You just go, no, pointless.
Yeah.
But the flip side of that is qualifying for Europe, and having the number of games that we've got to play, and which creates a need to spend money on the squad, puts so much pressure on the decision to write off 35 million quid. We know that that's offensive, right? 30 is worth a significant amount more than that. If Harry Maguire was 80 million quid when Man United got him, what does that make Marc Guehi? It's insanity to sell him for 35 million quid. But that's where we are. He's got less than a year left on his contract. That's the bid that's on the table. That's the club he wants to go to. And Palace have got to make a choice and say, we take that money and we try to use it to give ourselves a shot at meeting the financial requirements that we're now under, and building a squad big enough to compete in Europe and big enough to kind of sustain any level of success. But the problem is you might not have that success by trading Marc Guehi for Igor, whatever his name is, Julio. So it's a complete and utter madness. And the simple truth is, Liverpool have done us a dirty by acting in the way they have, and it shouldn't be rewarded. It really shouldn't. And they had no ethical, moral, or financial obligation to us. They just simply don't care about us. All they care about is getting the players that they want. They've done it to others as well. So
isn't that just the nature of football, though, Cambo? And we're just one of a number of clubs that it happens to, and that's capitalism. You know, the big ones will always be at the top, and but get soaked up or whatever.
Yeah, it is. It's the nature of it. It's the nature of, and we're in that position, a position we've never really been in before. You know, we've been close back, you know, in the early 90s of being in a position to compete in Europe and to build from a really solid foundation. And we didn't do it then for reasons that were both to do with the chairman and at the time and to do with the authorities at the time. You know, not letting us in Europe at the cost of Liverpool. So it's happening again here. So we have those, you know, those elite clubs who, despite the authorities trying to put things like financial fair play in place, all it's done is create a new economy in this country for average academy talent to be sold for huge sums of money to circumvent PSR regulations. And, you know, the people with the big money in the multi-club models are just continuously circulating talent, stockpiling talent, and stopping other people from reaching those levels. So, yeah, it's all of those things. But at the same time, forgetting all of that, it's a pretty black and white situation, which is we still need somebody in the building. If we're going to accept this situation with Guehi, sell him to Liverpool, which, again, not been announced that it's been done, and some speculation that it's no longer happening. But if we're going to do that, we have to have something significant in replacement. Otherwise, we are, you know, we might as well sort of forget our ambitions for the season. And that the manager's not going to like that. The players aren't going to like that. And it genuinely could fall apart. You know, we could be, instead of looking at what we're looking at now, which was a good start to the season, 14 games unbeaten, playing some nice football, you know, and wondering what comes next by strengthening in this window. We could be looking at an exodus of players who just don't want to be part of a club that's losing direction and losing faith. There's obviously a potential breakdown in relationship between chairman and manager if the manager goes.
I think that's done already. I really do think that based on today, and the latest is from David Ornstein, is that he's completed his medical, but the green light hasn't been given ahead. Is what I found baffling that's come out is that apparently there's conversations. Steve Parish has basically told Oliver Glasner and Marc Guehi to have conversations. It's a bit confusing. We've got half an hour left. At this point, the conversation is, buddy, you're leaving next year on a free because we've got half an hour left and we're not getting any replacement. Thank God Igor went to West Ham, because I would have even lost my head even more. But for me, Hambo, I don't know about you. I think you're different to me, but I'm done with Parish. As I said, I don't think he's a bad chairman, but me personally, I'm done. I feel like we've hit our ceiling with him at the football club in terms of what we can achieve. I'm not even talking about the Marc Guehi situation. I'm looking at the whole window about what we've done under Oliver Glasner this window. Glasner did say it. He wanted players in early as replacements. We failed in that. Last season, we've done a similar thing by bringing in players very late on in the window. So it seems like I think he's not a bad chairman. I think he's a very good chairman in terms of what he's done in 2010 to even now. We've become a stable Premier League football club, and we've reached a good stage. But the one time we have to push on, we've seen it. He's just failed completely, in my opinion. And Oliver Glasner plays a big part to our success as well. Dougie Freedman's left the football club and everything's gone to a mess. So I just feel like we've just hit our ceiling. But of course, I don't know. I doubt you have the same viewpoints as me.
No, when we talked about this not too long ago, well, Patrick and I on a stream were talking about it, and I'm not like team Parish, right? I'm not like he can do no wrong. Look at what he's done for the club. How dare people criticize him? I'm not in that particular camp. I'm not. I think it's interesting to say like I'm done with him. It's like, look, how we've managed this transfer window, in my view, isn't acceptable. Like,
Is it only
in any
is it
way.
only this one though? That's my point though. Is it only this
No,
one?
but like-
For me, it's a build up of things over the years, and now Glasner was the right opportunity for him to prove himself. I think he's failed again. So for that reason,
let me address that, right? Let me address that, okay? Because it's difficult for us. I mean, look, Glasner's absolutely right when he said last season, if we'd got people in earlier, we wouldn't have started so slowly, right? And he wanted to correct that this year, okay? But when you look at previous windows and you look at how we've brought players in, how we've structured our business, how we've managed our finances, it's hard to criticize because all of that action that he has taken with the rest of the board, including the appointment of Glasner, all of that way of operating got us to a position that we've never been in before, where we've won a major trophy and followed it up with the Community Shield, which is, can be a big thing when you think about it. So we've got 2 trophies. We've done 2 things that we've in a really short space of time that we've never done before, right? But the problem is, so I struggle to look at it from before and say, he held in any way has he held us back, because he's been very shrewd and the majority of the decisions have been right. Not perfect, and we have probably missed out on some players, and we probably signed a few we shouldn't have done as well. Let's be honest, right? But more often than not, the way that he has chosen to operate in transfer windows has been proven to continuously benefit and develop this football club to a point where we've won a major trophy. So you have to, from my view, you have to understand that. We can all be emotional about this transfer window, and this is one where I don't have an explanation, right? I don't think it makes any sense at all. This was a manager and a squad of players who deserved to be backed, and deserved to be backed the way they specifically said they needed to be backed, which is early business. If we're going to lose Eze, we're going to lose Guehi. Let's do it straight away, get the replacements in the building, and then they can go, right? But to do nothing, and then obviously a very short time ago lose Eze. Great replacement, by the way, in Pino. We've pulled off a blinder there, but that's one appearance off the bench. He looks superb, but it's a long old season, isn't it? And we're still paper thin as a squad. So I think he's absolutely right to take a kicking on this transfer window, but I don't have the same problem with the past that you have.
Yeah, but what about, just quickly, Nick, before you jump in, just what about him getting the Hodgson back into the football club after Saka Vieira? It did prove out well in terms of us staying up, but I just feel like in general, in terms of our business, apart from when Texas joined, I know we went on a big spending spree. I just don't. Just looking at this window and past windows, I just don't feel like we've got enough to push on. He's not a bad chairman, but I feel like this is it. This is it for me. I just feel like I'm done. I just feel like this has been inexcusable. This window, inexcusable, and he looks lost. We look without a plan ever since Doug has left the football club, and we're only bringing in his replacement just about a few weeks ago or a couple of weeks ago. It hasn't been officially confirmed yet as well. Matt Hobbs. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. Do you remember when Glasner was hired, and much was made of the fact that he was actually, as well as being a manager, he was almost a semi-director of football at one of the clubs he was at. And I really thought that once Dougie stepped in, that he would take over that role and be identifying the players that he wanted, which is unusual in today's game. It never used to be like that. Brian Clough used to tell his chairman who he wanted, and they'd go out and get them. So it's interesting the way it's gone since then, and I'm just wondering whether Glasner has himself stepped back from that and focused on the coaching.
Just quickly, I'll put out a poll because, of course, us was speaking and there's lots of people in the chat, over 500 people, just to see where we're currently at. I put in thoughts, Parish in, Parish out. I want to see, if you can vote, that would be great. I want to see where everyone is at right now in this current moment of time.
Can I try and affect the voting on that and say,
feel free.
In his favour, he is a Palace fan, so I wouldn't want anybody in there who isn't a fan.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's clubs without fans behind them that still are successful, but I understand your viewpoint.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's a really simplistic thing to sort of go. don't like this window, not gone the way it should have done. Parish out. To me, that's very, very simplistic view. Again, and that's taking into account. I've just
I'm
been
not talking
very,
about
I've been
this
very
window,
critical.
though. Me personally,
I know. I'm just saying, like,
yeah, I'm just saying.
it's an emotional game, but like I think it's so much easier for us as supporters to sit here and say like, oh, we should have done this, we should have done that. Don't sell Marc Guehi, right? Don't sell him. But like, how many times has it worked out in football where a player is like, I want to go. I don't want to be here. I want to go. How many times in football has it worked out to just go, no, you have to stay?
No, but that wasn't the case, Hambo. Come on,
And
let's
like,
be realistic. If Guehi's never
why
really
you?
pushed
But how
for
do you
move-
know that?
Yeah,
So
but it's
not the case
if Guehi
because it
really
doesn't
pushed for a
suit your
move, then would he
agenda,
be at the
right?
football club?
Say again.
If Guehi really pushed for a move, would he still be at the football club right now?
Well, no,
he's played yesterday.
He's asked for a move. He's asked to go today.
But okay, what? We just found out 24 hours ago. He asked to go after the Villa game.
Yeah, he asked to go.
Where's that coming from?
The club.
Yeah. So hold up. I've heard this before. It always flips a narrative of the football club in terms of what's happening.
Rather than
So
your
Guehi's
narrative.
asked to leave. So we've got no choice. I've heard it all before. You can believe it if you want. That's fine from you. But it's coming from club sources that Guehi's asked to leave all of a sudden after the Villa game. But before then, he was okay with staying, but he's also open to me. But all of a sudden now he just wants to leave. I don't believe it. I'm not buying it.
So you don't believe he wanted to leave, but he also won't sign a contract. You won't even enter into discussions over a contract.
I think he's going to leave next season.
He also spoke
So basically, you're telling me that Guehi's saying, I want to leave right now. I'm not having to run down my contract.
I'm telling you, he wants to leave Crystal Palace, because Liverpool have put in a bid.
But then Liverpool are always going to put in a bid.
Yeah, but exactly. But until they put in a bid, right? He can't leave because there's no bid. You can't say.
Why was the stance before then?
No. You let me speak, right? So you can't say to the club, I would like to join Liverpool if Liverpool have, because the answer to that question, if Liverpool haven't put in a bid, is, well, good. You can't because they haven't bid. They haven't bid for you, Mark. They keep telling us they're interested. They're telling you they're interested, but at this moment there is no deal to be done. So he has to wait for to be a deal to be done. So Liverpool at this moment put in a bid that is of a value that we would accept, and Mark has then said, "I want to go." That's the difference, right? So I think it's, again, I'm just saying, I'm not happy about it, and I would prefer if we didn't let him go, right?
So why are we having discussions?
But the simple point is, if a player says to you, "I want to leave," and the club are saying, that's a value where we're going to find it very, very hard to turn it down because he has no contract at the end of this season and has no interest in signing a new one. There's too many factors there that push you into a position. We have been pushed into a position, and you can be upset about that, but to be upset about that and say it's all on Parish is wrong.
It is on Parish because there's no replacements. So he failed once again. So if he knew that game wanted to leave, then he failed again.
So again, so you can. Yeah. There's so much. There's only so much that you can do. We can, again. I've said it myself. I probably said it earlier. You probably rewind this or look back later. I probably said in my criticism that we've known that Guehi was going to Liverpool all summer. I probably said something along those lines, right? But in fairness, the truth is, until there's a bid, until something concrete is there, we can. So we've obviously been talking to players, right? The whole summer we've been looking at centre backs. But you can't actually take that from looking at a centre-back, having a hypothetical discussion about whether you want to join or not, until actually the moment comes. So the moment, again, it's down to Liverpool and how Liverpool have behaved. And what I really want from this scenario is it to all completely fall apart because we couldn't get a replacement in, so he has to stay anyway. That's what I want. Because that's the perfect.
So that's what you admit. You failed because he didn't line up a replacement all summer. And the replacement that he lined up was a backup, not even a backup. I don't know.
Backup, yeah.
Yeah, a Brighton backup centre-back who's not wanted at Brighton. So he had the whole of summer, and we all knew that Liverpool was linked to Guehi, and that's what he was going to do. And now that he can't get Brighton's reject, who they don't even want. He's saying, "Oh, we can't go ahead with the deal." Based on that,
But
I don't
we,
know if you're happy with that. Based on that, he's failed. See, Parish
but when
has
we,
failed.
but when
He's
we
signed up for-
expected,
Where's
but
the
when we,
replacement?
but when we expected the bid earlier in the summer from Liverpool, right? When we expected that, we were in conversations with what's his face, Diomande.
Yeah.
Right. So that was our choice there. We also got a link with him again today, didn't we? The what's his name from Milan? I've forgotten his name.
Pavlovich. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So that's another guy we're massively interested in as the Guehi replacement. But the problem is you can't progress those deals. Those are huge money deals. We can progress them again when we have a bid, when we have a real bid and a real situation to deal with. So again, I'm telling you, like, I think the club have messed up by not acting sooner. But the Guehi situation, which seems to have triggered a lot of this angst, that's one where we've been messed about, and I don't know what we could have done differently.
Well, we could
Because
get a replacement lined up better.
Because
than
what?
we got
Well,
Julio.
what's lined up? What's lined up?
Well, I don't know. Who do you want? Who do you want as game replacement?
I mean,
But if
what
it's
do
not
you mean?
Pavlovich,
I mean,
if it's not Diomande Pavlovich, is there no one else out there? Are you telling me
I
our
mean-
old friend was Igor?
no, I mean define lined up. What
In
is
terms
what
of-
action?
In
Like
terms of literally
contract
talking to the
agreed,
player,
fee agreed. How do you know? How do you know how to agree
Well,
a
how much
fee?
would it
when you-
cost? How much would it cost? So you know exactly. So okay, if we go for Diomande is going to cost £40 million. Pavlovich is going to cost £35 million. They might sell him depending on who they let go. So you have deals lined up. So are you telling me we had a list and that list dropped down to Igor Julio from Brighton as Guehi's replacement? That's a
because
failure
of-
of the football club.
because of time. Because you again have been so
You had a
fucking
whole summer,
You're
though.
being myopic, right? Because you're looking at it and you're going, Palace have failed. But what happens when you sign a player of Diamande's quality or Pavlovich's quality? Milan want to replace him, or Sporting need to replace him, right? So you can't do a deal last minute. You can do a deal last minute for some third-rate Brazilian centre back from Brighton who they don't want because they don't need to replace him, right?
Last season when we lost Anderson.
But I'm saying, like, and again, Guehi would have gone last year if we didn't get a stupid bid in from
No,
Fulham.
but I'm saying we got
Anderson.
LeBron last year under Dougie.
Yeah, but
So
like,
exactly. So he doesn't always do it. He's failing.
but
the fact is,
did Fulham leave it to the last minute? Did they offer something fair for Anderson? They offered too much money for Anderson early on.
Was we
So
not
that's
after
different.
Lacroix before? Was after Lacroix even before we sold Anderson? Because that's what you do. You plan in advance. You have. I don't run a football club. I'm not going to act like I've run a football club. But surely you would have a list. You work through A to Z. All right. If this player doesn't work, this player. It seems like we didn't have a clue. That's what I'm saying. It looks we're clueless. If the fact that Igor is even on that list is a shambles by the scouting department, by the football club to replace.
You're saying there's no forward planning, Dave.
No, yeah. Sorry, go on, Nick. Because you're going to say
you're saying there's no forward planning, but we've signed a young centre back in to replace Guehi at the end of next year. Look, we've got at this moment in time, we've got 18 minutes left of the window. Nothing's happened yet. We haven't got a bloody clue. We're just arguing about abstract concepts at the moment.
Well, not that abstract.
Well, no, but you know what I mean. They're rooting in reality somewhere.
Even if you remove Guehi element, it's been a failure.
At the risk of upsetting Tommy in the chat, who wants my mic turned off. Sorry, Tommy. Like,
but we are straw man.
The truth is, we're saying you're talking about we've not had players lined up, and then we just had a conversation about 4 or 5 players that we had lined up. You know,
who do we have lined up?
No, because again, your definition of lined up. But I'm saying we have Pavlovich, Diomande.
Well, we knew that we knew the price of Diomande early on. Clearly, we was not going to go after Diomande if it's going to cost 40 to 50 million euros. So you can write that off. That was mentioned in July.
What do you mean? No, like
Diomande. The report was around 40 to 50. So we're not. Why
are you proving my point? Because if Liverpool came in with a respectful offer earlier in the window for Guehi,
they're never going to pay.
Then you can pursue that signing, can't you?
No, can we? Are we going to ever pay 40, 50 million pound on the centre back?
Well, years ago we paid 30 million quid for Sacco, who had one leg. So like that deal for Diomande, we weren't playing around, and obviously 40 million quid. If it's the way we buy people, it's 25 million quid plus 10 million quid in add-ons or whatever. Like, again, structuring a deal for that, just like structuring a deal for Pino. Pino was 50 million quid until we bought him, and then he was 20. you know. So it's all of those things, isn't it? It's you know, we have been put in a situation. I'm all for criticising the board because I am just like everybody else, fed up with the fact that we leave everything to the last minute. So I was really annoyed about the Eze situation, right? Because I felt it took way too long to get Pino signed. You know, we managed to sign him before the Villa game, so that was something, I guess. But it took way too long to get, because that was just happening, right? There were actual bids, actual discussions. Arsenal had a bid in for quite a long time, which just wasn't quite enough for us, and that happened before the release clause even expired, right? So there was actual bids coming in. With Guehi, it's different. We didn't. This is the one that's triggered everybody because it's on deadline day when everyone wants to be celebrating the 3 players we've bought. You know, Conor Gallagher holding up a shirt, and
It's not happening,
you know,
is it?
blah
That's
blah
not
blah.
happening.
Right? Everyone wants that, but deadline day, we again, and the manager has quite rightly got people's expectations in a position where we ain't going to let Guehi go if we don't have a replacement. And he made it pretty clear that his view is a replacement on the last day is still not a replacement. Doesn't matter who it is. So everyone is understandably on that side, right? Everyone is on Glasner's side. But I'm saying, as a manager of a football club, he has to take that position. I completely and utterly respect that position. But I'm just saying that the chairman of a football club, unfortunately, has to have a different perspective. And we don't like that perspective because it means Crystal Palace isn't the most important thing in Marc Guehi's world. It's not the most important thing in Liverpool's world. And we're going to sit here and we're going to criticise people for things that they didn't want to do. All Steve Parish wanted to do was to have Marc Guehi sign a new contract. That's what he wanted. Marc Guehi's not going to do it.
And Guehi was going to leave. He knew that Guehi was going to leave. Of course, we've seen the paper talks. If we've seen the paper talks, he definitely knows. He's definitely had contact with Liverpool at some point, or conversation with Guehi. He definitely knows. If we know, how does Steve Parish not know? And the best that we could come up with on deadline day is Igor Julio. Yeah, that's it. That's my response to it. And that's a shocking replacement for Marc Guehi. Absolutely shocking. Went from Diomande, Pavlovic, 2 hours to go, we're exploring Pavlovic. It's not going to happen. Let's be real. With Pavlovic with 2 hours to go, it's never going to happen. And to Igor Julio.
Do you know much about Camvo? Have you seen him play?
Well, he hasn't played that many games in his professional career anyways. No.
So are you mad about that?
I'm not mad about that because that's one for the future.
Is it?
Yeah.
You don't know anything about him?
Yeah, it's one for the future.
Is he? How do you know that?
What do you reckon he's going to start ahead of Guehi?
No, I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I've been critical of Julio, but I don't know much about him either. But I'm just playing a bit devil's advocate, right? Because it's almost like we can pick and choose the things that we're getting angry about, isn't it? We're angry because we don't want Guehi to leave. That's the truth of it. And when our criticism, your criticism in particular, is that we failed to line people up. But actually, I don't think that's a fair criticism, is all I'm saying. I think it's a fair criticism that we are slow to react in the window and we're not proactive. But I again, looking at it, I think the funds must be a problem, for us to act the way we act. But
so why is no one putting their hands in their pockets and actually, because
are we allowed? I don't know. Are we allowed to put our hand in for 40 million quid? I'm not sure, but it's a tough one.
Like other football clubs getting away with it when we've never been clearly of any threat of PSR. Yeah. I think if clubs are getting points deduction, we'll get points additions. That's what we deserve because of how safe we've been playing it for numerous of years. So I don't think PSR will be an issue. And Canva, by the way, I don't think he'll be a Guehi replacement because he's only played 20 games at the League On for Toulouse.
But so if we're spending 20 million quid on him, right, and we were going to do that with a Guehi left or not, isn't that 20 million quid better spent on a more ready to go?
We're short on centre backs. We needed another centre back regardless of Guehi leaving or staying. If Guehi leaves, then we need 2 centre backs. If he doesn't leave, then we needed 1 because we only have Chadi Riyad as a backup option.
Yeah.
And that's it. And
as I said, I still can't believe, and I'm ready to be told I'm wrong. I still can't believe that Igor Julio was a replacement for Guehi. I can't understand
it, and I didn't believe it as well.
Yeah.
But the only thing that made it believable, Hambo, is the fact that after that collapse, now the Guehi deal was in jeopardy. I mean,
Yeah, I suppose.
went
Yeah, I
together.
suppose I have to believe it then, don't
Yeah,
I?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So why is a Guehi deal on jeopardy? All of a sudden, he's doing his medical, deal done. Here we go for Fabrizio Romano. Then wait a minute, Igor Julio collapses. Are we going to actually sell Guehi? That's crazy.
I mean, again, that smells of desperation, doesn't it? You know,
because otherwise, why is Guehi
sure.
still at the football? Like, why is he doing a medical? If we didn't want to sell Guehi, we have that stance, and we say he's not doing a medical. Like, we're not going to sell him.
But let me put it another way to you. Do you think that we target Igor Julio or Igor, however he likes to be known?
Yeah.
Do you think we target him if Liverpool don't put in a deadline day bid with hours to go, or do you think
him beforehand? This was happened before it. This happened before it did.
Yeah, but not like weeks before today. It happened in the last 48 hours.
Yeah. No, not last 48. But it was before the whole Guehi stuff.
So again, from my understanding, I could be wrong, and people might know more than I do. From my understanding, like the fact that this bid was coming, I think there was a bid earlier in the week that we'd turned away, something like 35. We turned away, and they came back with 35 plus 10% sell on, and that was today, and we decided that was all right. I think that's what I've heard. So I think that one that came in earlier, I think maybe that's the trigger. But what I'm really saying, I'm just saying, I don't think we really look at him as Guehi's replacement if we had any certainty before this week that situation was going to happen. You can suspect all you like, but until it's real, until Liverpool come to the table and say, yeah, this is happening, and Guehi comes to the table and says, yeah, I want this to happen, how do you proceed with the scale of player that you need to get in to replace him? And particularly when your manager has already said you can't replace him, and you certainly can't replace him on the 31st/1st, you know. So look, it is a shit show, like in that sense, but I do not think it is fair to lay all of that at the door of Steve Parish, nor do I think it is fair to completely ignore where he has taken us. And people are really quick
to ignore that, though. I never ignored that. I acknowledge.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I've acknowledged that he's taken us from 2010 to here. He's done an incredible job. I'll even say that he's done an incredible job in terms of making us a stable Premier League football club. New training ground got built, which of course that's more on John Textor. To be fair, I don't want to give him credit, but that is on John Textor's investment.
Less than 4 months ago, we won the FA Cup.
But that's on Oliver Glasner.
But who appointed him?
Well, that's up for debate. Patrick said some people believe it's Textor. Some people, well, I think the official reports when the whole stuff came out was that it was Dougie, and then Steve Parish gave the final call. I don't know. Do you think Steve Parish was the one that found?
Again, you're misunderstanding me. I'm talking about the structure at the club, because it doesn't really matter, does it? When you think about the decision makers, right, at the club, you're talking about. You can't say, well, it was Textor. Well, who brought Textor in? Parish. You can't say, well, it was Dougie. Who brought Dougie in? Parish. Like, ultimately, the decision maker, the guy who's given the responsibility of chairman, even though he's got less of a stake in the club than everybody else, like, if he's been given that role and he's the one who's calling the shots and leading the charge and putting the right people in place, then he gets to take the credit as much as he takes the criticism, right? So when we're talking about winning the FA Cup 4 months ago and winning the Charity Shield very recently, I think two things we've never done as a football club. We've never won anything of note. And no, Nick, we can't count the Zenith Data Systems Cup anymore. We can't. We want to, but we can't. So when you're having this conversation of like, I'm done with it now, that's where I struggle. I don't struggle with criticizing this window. I don't struggle with the idea that we had an opportunity to back a manager properly. But last year was fine. It worked out. We won the FA Cup. So.
Yeah, because of Glasner as a manager. Do you think we win the FA Cup with this last year's squad?
Because of
hold up. Do we win then? Do we win the FA Cup with last year's squad if Glasner ain't the manager?
No, but Parish appointed him.
For a bit of perspective, Liverpool fans,
which is gone now.
Parish appointed.
And okay, so what's happening now then? Doug is not here. So what's happening now? Why does it look like an utter failure? So Parish hasn't got a clue. Where's Dougie's route? What's going on? What's
I mean,
happening?
we're by all accounts, we're working off of Dougie's list anyway. So perhaps I guess Igor Julio was on Dougie's list.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, Nick. Please speak.
Liverpool fans are going mad, hating Steve Parish because he's not letting Marc Guehi go to him. So I mean, it depends what angle you're viewing this story from, isn't it?
Mm.
You know, I mean, D has kind of followed a Homer Simpson like roller coaster of moods. He started off, it was going. You know the one with the sax. I wanted to play saxophone tunes, so I lifted his mood. And when the Saints go marching in, he might cheer up a bit, like old Homer did. So Parish might, after all this, just be playing a blinder and say, "No, Liverpool, you know." They can just survive with fucking Van Dijk and see how they get on. You know what I mean? It might be that.
The latest is just quickly Miguel. Hold up, there's another update of players left the club, but no one really cares about him. Miguel Delaney saying that with Guehi with 17 minutes ago is still in the balance. Of course, there's now 6 minutes ago. I don't think we're going to end this at 7 o'clock. Is a disaster of a window. But yeah, Edouard has completed.
You say it's a disaster of a window, right? I think we're all in for an absolute treat. It'd be one of those ones where somebody's fax machine would have got the wrong thing. And remember Chef Kikuchi? Anyway,
I was going to say,
plays in early, Hambo.
What's that?
I think we can start a successful window. No, successful season, but I still think is poor from us in this window.
Well, do we get to find out if people have applied for extensions and stuff soon? Because they usually have that, don't they?
I think Steve Parish needs one for his fax machine.
I still think we can have a good season. I think that falls down to Glasner. But I think Glasner's gone at the end of next season now, 100%.
I do wonder, like a lot of people, with the situation of Guehi goes, there's no actual replacement. And the Leverkusen jobs just become available. And Glasner was on that list before.
Why not? Steve Parish is so great. Why not, Hamburg?
Because he's an emotional guy. No, I'm just saying he's an emotional guy. He deserved backing, and he didn't get the backing, did he? So
so you are agreeing with me there with regards to Parish?
No, I'm not agreeing with you. No, I mean, I appreciate your wonderful tactics of trying to trap me, but the trouble is I already explained everything, which is
maybe I think Glasner. But why would Glasner want to leave this Premier League job?
I think it, and by extension you, are overly simplistic in terms of just going bad window. It's all Parish's fault. I'm done with him.
It's not, but this window though. You keep twisting it to this window. It's not just this window.
I'm gonna.
This has happened for numerous.
I'm gonna cut this video together later on of you, just continuously, just saying not this window, because
I need to keep saying it. You keep talking about.
You don't because I explained my perspective on that, right? Because my perspective on that is the previous windows got us success, but what I am saying and what I've said the whole time is that this particular window, this particular summer, was an opportunity for us to back the best manager we've ever had, right? It was an opportunity, and we failed to deliver what he wanted. It's not about what we want as fans, right? It's not about what we want as fans. It's about what the manager wants. And when the manager publicly comes out and says what he wants, I can agree with you that is a failure, right? I don't believe that the Guehi situation is we could do anything about, but I do believe that there's plenty we could have done throughout the course of this summer that was more proactive and more considerate of what was coming up. Don't even get me started on 2 injuries yesterday in terms of Sarr and Wharton that were just because we had to push players too much because we hadn't had players in the building. So I agree with the fact that this window we missed opportunities and we failed to back the manager, and we could lose him because of that. So you and I agree on that point. It's just been fun debating with you on the general concept, right? And the general concept is we as a football club have had a huge amount of success that we've never had. And we do have to be appreciative of that while still being able to be critical of the fact that this window was a massive missed opportunity that could feasibly lead to the breakup of this team and squad and the loss of the best manager we've ever had. And then that truly would be something to criticise the chairman about.
Would you have the same stance next year if we got rid of Glasner and appointed Gareth Southgate? Just out of curiosity.
Well, he's a fellow Crawley boy, so I got a lot of love for him. And while you were still a fetus, we actually had him on the show as well, talking to us about EPPPPPPP, however many P's it is.
So just quickly, sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but another update on the Guehi situation is that a deal sheet is set to be submitted for the Marc Guehi move from Crystal Palace to Liverpool, but the deal is still in the balance. The medical is complete. The player and Premier League champions want it to happen, but out of their hands. So the deal sheet is set to be submitted. So we still won't know after 7 o'clock.
So no good if we haven't submitted a deal sheet to buy another centre back, is it? So it's going to be pointless.
Yeah, how long does this drag on? Is it like another couple hours then?
Yeah, I think it's either an hour or two, isn't it? It's usually an hour, but I saw somebody mention 2 hours or something. But yeah, a deal sheet gives you the opportunity to complete negotiations. I'm sure it's an hour, but someone might correct
So
me.
what if Guehi leaves right now and we don't? It's just JD Campbell coming in. Well, how do you feel about that? Is that good enough?
Sorry,
JD Campbell, the Toulouse defender, that's coming in.
If he's the only one,
yeah.
If he's the only one who joins today, it is a disaster. It is in
terms of defenders, I think Uche is going to join as well, but he's like a number 10. But I was talking about defender, Guehi leaving and the 19-year-old.
Yeah, that's a shocker. Yeah. Sorry, did you say that, Nick? I apologize.
I said the window is shut.
Window is shut. Thank you. Yeah, look, it's of course it is. It's a disaster. Given that we're one centre back down if you ignore injuries, 2 if you don't, because again I said it earlier, you've got no guarantee that Riyad, of course, is going to come back anytime soon and even be the player he was promising to be, right? So if you look at our squad, we already needed to sign a centre back, and signing one with purported quality to supplement the team this year and be a big player for the future is a great thing to do, but it's no good in terms of competing. We've got to compete till the next window in playing Thursday night, Sunday.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I don't mean to interrupt Handball, but the club just announced the Canva signing, so it's just come in.
That's good.
That's good. That's something. That's a positive. But again, as we've just said, I mean, Diar's already pissed on those chips, wasn't he? But but that is it's a good signing for the future. But I mean, if he's
I'm better trying to buy him, but I think he's more of an addition rather than
stupid transfer window time. You said chips, and I really fancy some now because I haven't had my tea.
Yeah, I need to.
It's been announced on a 4-year deal, by the way. JD Campbell, so 4-year deal. It looks like an exciting player as well. He played 20 times in all competitions. He had his professional breakthrough last season. He'll wear number 23. Chairman Steve Parish has said the following: JD is an exciting signing whose progress has been on our radar for some time. We are pleased to welcome him to South London. His arrival bolsters a squad already brimming with talent and potential. And I look forward to seeing his impact both this season and in the future in red and blue. And JD said the following: it's very exciting. Crystal Palace are a really good club with good sporting project. It's a big step because it's the best championship in the world, so I'm excited to start.
There you go.
So, yeah.
What's his name? Franco Ume's gone as well, isn't he? Permanently to I want to say Portsmouth. Yeah, Portsmouth. That's another thing. So Patrick just chucked that up in our chat. So he's gone, as well as Edouard. So a couple of outs as well. But yeah, look, good signing, right? We've got to be happy about that as a signing, but it doesn't kind of gloss over the fact that you've just asked the key question there, which is that enough? To which the answer's an emphatic no.
Yeah. We don't. It's not been rubber stamped the whole Guehi thing, has it? Because it might have been agreed before 7, so we won't know for another 2 hours possibly.
Yeah. And again, like I said, I haven't seen any talk anywhere of us in a similar situation. In terms of applying for an extension to sign anybody else. So in terms of who we've been linked with to replace him, Julio's not coming to us. So we'd have to have done a late deal for Pavlovic, which a lot of people have been talking about all day. But and I suppose, thank you, Richard. I agree. And I suppose, Dear Monday's out of the question at short notice as well. So what do we do? What do we do? I have no idea.
I know you have more of the answers than I do in it. So
you're right. I do. But you're learning, mate. You're still young.
Yeah. So you're the one that's happy with, you explained it. It's just this window, etc. So
don't be sad and I guess emo. Don't be emo. You're all right, D.
I'm good. I'm just saying. You're just, I'm just good. I just know what's gonna happen next season. I just want you to keep the same stance next season because we'll talk next summer.
I will still be sat down next season if that helps.
Yeah, we'll talk next summer. We'll talk next summer. When
are we allowed to talk before then?
Yeah, I mean we can.
Okay.
We can, but as you right now, it's just it's. I just want to hear from Glasner. I'm just waiting for Glasner.
Okay.
Is he calling in?
No, I wish he did. I wish he did.
Those were the days, weren't they, Ambo, when Parish
remember that? He used to call in on deadline day, didn't he? Live call, let us know what's going on. We could all go home early as well, couldn't we? Do you remember? Because we'd often have been on for 4 hours and he'd give us a call and go, "Nah, nothing's happening, lads." And we go, "Okay, cheers. See you later. Thanks." Not anymore. He's big time now.
Yeah,
it's big time.
And Premier League.
He loves the TV interview. Don't worry, come out with an interview tomorrow, probably on the BBC. Good morning. What's it called? Good morning breakfast show. Was it?
I don't know, but I like that. If that doesn't exist, you should do that. You've got a platform now. I want to see you with your good morning breakfast show.
He'll probably end up there. He'll probably do an interview with Channel 5 by TV. He'll do all of the interviews. I can't wait to hear from him.
I would pay and subscribe to a channel where you hosted a breakfast show, did the cooking, whilst ranting about various things that you didn't like. Who's with me?
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just killing a bit of time now. Do you remember when we had the idea for the program DR Does? Do you remember that?
So apparently Marc Guehi staying.
he won't admit it.
So Richard Osman is saying Marc Guehi stays.
Richard Osman from Pointless and Richard Osman's House of
Sorry,
Games.
Rahman Osman. I don't know how reliable he is, but he's saying Marc Guehi stays. I don't know if he's just jumping the ship a bit too early.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an extension in place, it sounds like it. But again, like I said, you can't. There's no point extending something because if he's not gone, it's because we haven't got a replacement. And if we haven't got a replacement ready to go in the next 2 hours with an extension, it's pointless extending it, isn't it? We're just doing it for the sake of it. So
I don't know. I don't know what we're thinking. I don't know.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard being a Palace fan when you've finally got some success. And
it's just this day's just been so sour for no reason. It could have been so easily avoided. It could have been easily avoided. But we know how they want to operate now, so it's good. True colours have been shown, so we can keep that in mind. Let's see, maybe in January he goes. Right?
Well, that's an obvious one, isn't it? Yeah, if it doesn't go through now, given the statement he's made of wanting to go to the club, given that we accepted a bid, becomes January, and then it becomes another thing of how much do they pay in January. I guess that depends on how desperate that they would be for a centre back to come in.
Can I answer this? It wasn't pointless. It wasn't pointless, and I'm gonna keep going with it as well. If Guehi stays, the whole purpose was that Steve Parish wanted to sell Marc Guehi, and he couldn't sell Marc Guehi because Igor Julio ended up going West Ham. So we was gonna sell Marc Guehi, who completed his medical. Why did Marc Guehi complete his medical? Tell me, why did he complete his medical if you don't want to sell Marc Guehi? What? Because let's do health checks. Liverpool wanted to do a health check on Marc Guehi for no reason? No, because the deal was on. But as soon as Igor Julio ended up going West Ham, wait a minute, we're pulling the plug. So that was going to be our replacement. So it's not about just the principle of Marc Guehi just staying at Crystal Palace. It's the whole thought process. We were willing to sell Marc Guehi, our captain, after what Oliver Glasner has been saying for numerous weeks and what he said yesterday. We were still willing to sell him. And our replacement, not Diomande, not Pavlovic, was going to be Igor, Julio.
But
That's
as
how long
Chris
it's gonna go.
said,
So
as-
that's my run, and it's still not been a good window. It's still not been a
as
good window.
Chris said, he would have been on Doug's list. Although what I have enjoyed about Chris today is during the day, when the Igor thing came up, he was their fourth striker, and then he was their fifth striker, and then by the time you got onto the program, he was their sixth choice striker.
Yeah, I'm going to leave by mentioning it's their seventh centre back cover. No, look,
Centre-back cover.
yeah, look, if it was,
It's just,
I suppose if it was any other club,
it worries
as well,
me.
it's a
It worries me. We need to sort out the sporting director stuff ASAP. It worries me that we've reached that stage where seventh. I don't know where he was on Brighton's list in terms of backups, but he can't be their fourth choice or anything like that. Clearly, because they're willing to let him go, right?
yeah.
So I'm worried the fact that this player ended up on our radar as a replacement for Guehi. That's what worries me a lot. Like, we need to sort that out internally. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be sorted. The sporting director issue, the main stand issue. Hambo, I was there in 2017 when it got announced. It's 2025. Every year it's getting built in the summer. Another summer's gone by and it's still not built. You know, there are stuff that's been promised that haven't been delivered. So we need to solve that. Woody Johnson's come in now. Is that going to be solved? Like, in terms of the main stand, are we going to finally build it? Are we not going to build it? Because there talks about the costs going up, and is it even worth of us building it because of the price tag? So it's just, I don't know. Too many stuff have been said, and I always hear excuses, and I'm just tired of excuses.
It's a bad one. I know a fair bit about the construction industry from my work, and it's the later you delay something, the spiraling costs just get absolutely out of control. And I know we've had so many bites of the cherry. There's been lots of things. There's been the Sainsbury's issues. There's been continuous sort of circulatory discussions with the council. There's been compulsory purchase orders on properties, and some of which are still occupied by people. There's been lots of different things, but I would say we've probably spent more money trying to get it off the ground than we should have done. But if you go back even further than that, there's obviously the new stadium in Crystal Palace Park. That was a fun time when we were going to build that. Then there was the you can go back to Simon Jordan's days where we had the T-shirts printed because we reunited club and ground, but we didn't. They were still separate. It's the Crystal Palace way, unfortunately, and we're trying to change that. I guess we're trying to change.
I remember the nest.
I bet you do. Well, that's the clever bit about our name, isn't it? Because back of the nest was our original ground, wasn't it, Nick?
Yeah.
When you were just in your 30s.
Yes.
So that's why our name is so clever, because also eagles live in nests. Did you know? Well, is it Iris? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Eerie. Thank you. I better go. I mean, I've annoyed DR to the point where he's just furious with me. You can see it in his eyes. I'm dead.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just quickly doing something.
Yeah, of course you are. But Patrick's on now, and he can really take up that mantle and just upset you even more, even though he's upset himself.
I've lost the will to live, Hambo.
Look, Patrick. By the way,
mate, come on! I've got
a massive fan. By the way, Hambo, you can speak to him as well. And even today, he said that he's done. He's done with Parish.
I've got to go and pick up some kebab, and you of all people, D, you know how important that is. All right, so I've got to go do that. All right, you know, mate. So
I had a lovely kebab on Kingsland Road the other day.
Did you? What did you have? Let's just let me go with this lovely memory of what you had.
Well, first of all, we had flatbreads, 3 different pickles and yogurt dips. That kind of thing.
I didn't want your life story, mate. What kebab did you have?
Oh, all right. I had lamb, but it was lamb kind of kofta pieces with.
I tell you, it's a good judge for kebab shop because if
baba ganoush as well. I love a bit of baba ganoush.
Is that you've blown my mind with that? Now I need to have a think about my life. Awesome. So I'm just going to get the special. It usually comes with a pita bread. I like the sort of chicken. Well, I like it when they do chicken shawarma rather than chicken doner. What does your kebab shop do, D?
I had kebab today, to be fair.
Did you, Jeff?
Chicken shish.
Yeah, it's a classic, isn't it? It's a classic.
I didn't enjoy it, Hambo. I didn't enjoy it. No, I didn't enjoy it.
Because of Marc Guehi?
Yeah. Your chairman ruined my food.
Did you get
I could've
family
enjoyed it.
discount?
Oh, somebody's just asked me, D, does your shop do goose kebab? A goose
No.
shawarma? No.
I don't know what.
Yeah,
what is-
look into that, mate. Look into it. Anyway,
I know they've thought about doing Swan, but I don't think they'll be able to do that.
you have to. You can only serve the royal family if it's Swan. Is that right?
Yeah, maybe.
Mm.
Well, they
Anyway,
really every
plenty to ponder there. But I've enjoyed it immensely, and I'm sure once I get back from the kebab shop, just in case you're asking, I am getting chicken sheesh and chicken shawarma with chili sauce and garlic mayo. But when I get back, I'm sure we will have probably signed another 3 players, and it's just waiting to let people know. So, welcome Conor Gallagher. Yeah,
Welcome.
yeah, and late loan deal for who would it be?
Raheem Sterling.
Maybe Raheem Sterling. At the peak of his powers, isn't he? So it'd be a good signing. And with that, I'll leave you. Dee, don't be too mean about me when I've gone. And I know you were upset about a lot of the nice comments that I got in the chat.
What comments?
But people like you too. I got some unpleasant comments, but a lot of people liked me as well. And
no! No one's just sent unpleasant comments. I mean,
it wasn't personal, mate. Okay, it wasn't personal. They still like you.
By the way, Strasbourg have signed Ben Chilwell on a 2-year contract. That's funny. But so Ben Chilwell's going to actually play against Palace in a few weeks' time. Well, a few months' time.
Cool.
Yeah.
If he's not injured.
Enjoy your kebab.
Thanks. Cheers,
we'll talk again soon.
Bye, Hambo. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
How you been, Patrick? No? Fair enough. So
I don't know how I'm doing.
Yeah. So the latest is that deal sheet has been submitted for Marc Guehi. Still uncertain in terms of what's going on. Surely at this point you would think that common sense prevails and we don't sell him. But yeah, let's see. JD Canva has been signed. So let's quickly get your thoughts on him. Young centre back, 19 years old, 20 league appearances last year. He looks exciting, especially for depth.
Yeah, I agree. It's an exciting. It was more exciting a day ago when we had just beaten Aston Villa, and I thought Marc Guehi was gonna stay. It's not exciting today. I'm just my head is like my son. The phrase is right. My head's in Mars. My head's like all over the place and I got off the show for a little bit to kind of calm down. But just going on now, like what's going on with the club is just driving us. But going back to JD Canva, I'm glad we got that over the line. Should be a good up and coming player. The funny thing is that we signed Chadi Riyad to replace Guehi. Now we've signed Canva to replace Guehi. I'm guessing I don't even know who he's replacing, but
he might be staying. So we'll see if he ends up staying or not.
But going tweeted that a deal sheet. BBC London Sport have just tweeted a deal sheet is now in for Marc Guehi, and that is down to Crystal Palace wanting to sanction his move.
Yeah.
So they've got until 1 a.m. to submit full paper.
That's ridiculous, right? Because that was done by Liverpool, because Palace wouldn't put together a deal sheet. They're trying to pressure. But my point is now, look at the situation that we've left our manager in now to try and convince the player doesn't want to be here to stay. It's ridiculous. Or either whatever happened, it's a shit show, because if Marc goes, we have no replacement. If he stays, we've had this disastrous last day embarrassing situation where we sold our captain, and now we forced him to have to stay. What's going to happen in that first interview when he's done? This situation is ridiculous. Only Crystal Palace. People always say, and I hate people say that, oh, that's all Crystal Palace. But even this situation, I would never have dreamt would have happened. I would never have dreamt on the final day of the window that we would be forced. We would be in a situation where we were trying to sell a player, our best player at the time, and then couldn't get replacement. And now we're at the point where we're past the deadline, and now our manager trying to convince that player to stay another 3 months or 6 months for the season. This is ridiculous. I don't believe we're in a situation. It's just weird. it's just very,
I don't know.
very,
Apparently,
very,
I'll say
very. I don't get it.
me. Apparently, I'm emotional. If I say it's ridiculous, I don't know. Apparently, it's
I'm
not
off
ridiculous.
now, peeps.
Apparently, it's
Thanks
not.
for joining, everyone.
All right, Nick, take care.
Nice to see
All
you,
right, thank
Dee.
you, Nick, for being
I'll
on.
see you Saturday week, mate, at the footy.
Yeah, I won't be there. But
All
yeah,
right.
I'll see you the game after.
Take it easy.
I'll see. But I don't know, Patrick. I don't know. It depends on your perspective, right? If we keep Guehi, still like nothing's happened. It's still all fine for some people. Some people, it's not. It's confusing. I asked a question about Parish is 50-50 as well. It's created a lot of divide. We shouldn't have a divide in the season. Just 2 seconds, I'll be back. That's annoying. What's your thoughts on it as well? Are you worried about like going ahead after this, or you think everything can be brushed aside?
No, you can't brush it aside. You can't brush it aside. Again, you're in a situation where you're forcing the player to stay, doesn't want to be here. I don't know how Marc Guehi walks back in the dressing room after international break and just says, "Hey, I'm back." It just sounds weird. I don't know. Just a weird situation. We shouldn't be here in this situation. If he wants to leave, we should let him leave beginning of the window. It's just very, very strange. I just don't understand. And what really gets me going is that I was listening to Hambo talking, and he's right. Liverpool could have done this at any point during the season because they wanted him apparently, right? Why would you wait to the last day of the window to put in an official bid? Why are you waiting to the last day of the window? And what we should have done is we buffed it right away and said no. But they really, really have stitched us up, as Dave says in the chat. I just don't understand this. And again, I don't know. I don't know the last day of the window, and now the window is now closed officially, and we're sitting here now, and we don't know if our captain is still going to be here. Nah, man, this is a weird. Just don't get it. I just don't understand why we're in this situation. And I know they did it. They did do it to get a bargain. I get that they're trying to get the best deal for them, but and that's what I always say. I've been saying the Papa. We always get a bad deal from Liverpool. They never, ever, 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 ever give us a good deal. It's ridiculous. They just don't. They just don't give us a good deal, man. I didn't think Mateka deal was a great deal. The Sacco deal was a great deal. They would do deals better for them. They never give us a. I mean, they're not like Chelsea, but no, man. I just feel very. I just don't even know how to feel. I just feel very. This situation is just not a good situation. It just isn't. This might be our best start to a season in a long time, honestly. FA Cup winners, Community Shield winners, Conference League. Undefeated in the league, haven't conceded a goal in the league, and we're talking about Marc Guehi leaving and not bringing a replacement in. What are we doing? What are we doing as a club? What are we doing? I don't understand. How do we get here?
It's interesting how Glasner had
my head's really. Yeah, why are you putting him in a situation? Why is it Guehi's job? I mean, Glasner's job to talk to him. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why it is. I don't know how it's still ongoing. I don't know. Yeah, it's past 7 o'clock, but it's still going on. It's a bit confusing. It's a bit confusing in terms of all the timings.
The funny thing is, Dee, is that we still didn't really. I mean, this is like big picture. We still didn't address the squad limitations that we still have. Because we did bring in Canvo, and we're going to bring in Uche. I'm sure that'll be announced in the next whatever. But we still need another midfielder and another forward because we just get rid of Edouard. Fine, I'm not a big fan anymore. But if JP goes down, who goes there? Is it going to be Sarr? Is it Uche? Do you know what I mean? I mean, we still have spots in the squad where we're going to be limited. We're going to bring up a kid from the academy. It's like the whole Guehi thing just messed up the whole day of maybe getting this player, maybe getting another 10, a midfielder, a number 9. It just messed up the entire day because of one situation that could have been dealt with like them. I just listened to the interview again. I think he said July 1st, it was a conversation about we have to have a replacement for Guehi or he can't go. And now it's August. It was August 31st when he said it. Yeah, it was. But that's when Glasner said it. So it's like 2 months we had to deal with the situation. And on September 1st, we're now dealing with the situation with Guehi. It just doesn't make any sense, man. My head's gone, man. I don't know. I'm rambling and I apologize. But
do you think it comes down to not having a sporting director? Because it just seems a bit confusing.
I think I'll always say that was a part of it. Not having Dougie was a part of it for sure. I also think, again, going back, it definitely has something to do with the the UEFA situation and the ownership situation with Texter. There's a lot of things that went on, but again, a lot of it we can look at ourselves in the mirror and say it's our fault. But oh man, this is just I don't know, D. I'm just
What do you think is gonna happen?
I don't
Then?
even know.
What do you think is gonna happen? Do you reckon he stays? I think he does. The most confusing thing about this is what are we waiting on? Like, what is it? It's a bit confusing now. We can't bring in any other players. What's going on? I really want to be there for where Glasner
should have been
speaking.
Right.
I just feel like Glasner today probably not had a good day. My guess, of course, I don't know. I don't think he's had a good day. I think his day it's just been a joke of a day.
This is the worst situation he would have wanted. Why would you put me in a situation? Why am I talking to the player who wants to leave? Why is that my job to convince him? Shouldn't the ownership be trying to convince him? Look, or not convince him, just say you're not going. I mean, if you say to the player, I know he won't be happy about it, but it's not like, see, in American sports, it's different. You can trade a player away and they don't have no choice where they go. You can send the guy to Siberia if you don't like the player, just get rid of him. Do that. Marc Guehi, and also in reverse, you can't make it. The player could force the move, obviously, like I said, because obviously Isak did that, and what's the guy, Bournemouth guy who just got Brentford guy, Wissa. You could force the move, but let's be honest, Marc wasn't forcing a move. Marc was very professional, training properly, leading the team, scoring goals, did everything. Yeah, talking about it when he had to. Even in his interview yesterday after the match, talk about it a little briefly. He wasn't forcing it. Now today, when Liverpool dropped this bomb of an actual offer, yeah, I want to go to Liverpool. Makes sense. But at that point, you say, Marc, you can't go. We have no one to replace you. And then that's it. Discussion's over. Let's move on to get a number 10. Get a defender.
It's going to be Igor. It's going to be Igor. Marc Guehi right now, it seemed like he was going to be gone. It was going to be Igor. Julio.
Yeah, that's shambolic. That's shambolic. I'd rather be Disassi.
I think this whole drama could have ended.
I would have taken Disassi. Disassi at least played for Chelsea at some point. Igor
this is the debate I had with Hambo.
Brighton.
This is the debate I had with Hambo. If we have the whole window to plan ahead, if we know that the Liverpool are going to put an offer at some point, and we have the whole window, we know at the start of the window that Diamande was going to cost quite a bit of money. Pavlovic could be a difficult deal, etc. It's hard to say, of course, but how low down the list did we go to see like Igor Julio will be a Marc Guehi replacement? I say, yeah, that's fine. Like, we must have done our homework, but what type of homework did we do?
Literally,
the replacements lined up.
He must be bottom of the list. I never heard his name brought up once. I didn't hear his name brought up one time. I heard the Disassi at some point earlier in the window. I heard Pavlovic. I forgot he was even at Brighton. He doesn't play. I thought he was still there. I thought he got sold back to Brazil. I'm not joking. He doesn't play for them. Do you know what I mean? So why is his name coming up? And again, honestly, if he was from another club, I would actually. He's my biggest rival. We don't do business with Brighton. We don't. Glenn Murray. What else? We don't deal with them. It's nothing personal, but we don't deal with Brighton. Do you know what I mean? They don't deal with us. So what are we doing it now on the deadline day for? In the whole Marc Guehi situation, it looks so juvenile. You know what I mean? So childish. Like we had no plan. And oh, by the way,
that's what I thought as well.
Center half who hasn't played all season. Just try and get him.
That's what I thought as well. Genuinely, that's what I thought as well. It felt like it wasn't planned properly.
I'm actually lost for words.
The fact that he was mentioned.
Say again?
It just seemed like the fact that he was mentioned as on deadline day, it just seems like it wasn't planned properly. It just seemed like it. And if it was the option, by the way, Patrick, like you just say, no, Marc, you can't leave. I'm sorry, you can't leave. Because this is our replacement. We haven't found a replacement. Like
right.
The fact that this is what annoys me, the fact that we thought that he would be a replacement. Like he's good enough to be a replacement. That's the confusing element. Like, of course, there's gonna be players out there. You might go for flipping Craig Dawson. He could be a replacement technically. He's another centre back. But you have to look at the situation and say, is this guy good enough to replace my captain, England international, on deadline day after the manager said no? Your answer's there. You don't even go for him. You just say, all right, fair enough. He's not good enough. So unfortunately, we haven't found a replacement. When we want, but it seems like we thought that he was good enough because we went ahead with the deal. he had his medical, and it seems like there was complication in the medical, or if it was playing time, etc. So it's just all a bit confusing.
Yeah. Listen, Victor Lindelof was a free agent. So is Tomiyasu. Therefore, you could sign them for nothing. I do not understand going to. And also, you could have done. Honestly, you want the deal. You want the deal, Liverpool. We want Joe Gomez. You want the deal? Give us Joe Gomez. That I would have said. I don't love it, but I'll take him. You know what I mean? We didn't even do that. They got our hand behind our back with a knife at our back, at our throats, but guess what? They were gonna loan him out anyway, apparently, right? Wasn't Joe Gomez supposed to go somewhere this season? But
AC Milan,
he didn't.
Did he not go?
That's what I'm saying. So what happened to that deal?
Did he not end up going? I don't know.
That off? That's what I'm saying. But so why? No, it's just the situation.
Maybe Joe Gomez doesn't want to join Palace.
Well, he's South London kid, Charlton kid. Maybe not. I mean, maybe that was it. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why. I mean, the kid came from Charlton.
A lot of things don't make sense right now, Patrick. I'll be honest. I'm trying to find the reasons for it. A lot of stuff don't make sense. A lot of stuff don't make sense right now. I'm trying to understand that as well. I'm trying to understand what on earth is going on, and hopefully we find out sooner rather than later, because it is all a bit confusing. It's all a bit confusing. But Franco Ume is gone on a permanent deal to Portsmouth. Surprised about that? Surprised about that, or?
It's interesting because last season he was back up left wing back, and now he's gone. I'm not really surprised. It didn't work out. He got injured last year. Again, it was a wing back option. It didn't work out. They moved him back to his position. He's more of a number 10 on the right side, cuts him with his left foot. Inverted type winger type play. The conversion to left wing back never worked for him. So between that and the injury, I'm not really surprised. We got him from Ireland. I hope the kid goes on to do well. We got about 500K for him. I'll take that. But I mean, it's not a lot of money, but we got a lot of kids, man, that are like, on the fringe of the academy who need to find a place to go, because I'm not going to put him in the first team. Let him go.
Do you mind, Patrick? Do you mind just refreshing your thing, because your connection is very jumpy? Just refresh and join back.
Sure, no problem.
You're just lagging a lot. I mean, you might have some tabs open as well. Of course, the latest is waiting on the Guehi news. Hopefully, it doesn't go ahead. Hopefully, we just bounce back. I'm just a bit worried about the Glasner situation, honestly. After today, I wonder how upset he is, or if he's not upset. But yesterday, I mean, ever since the Eze stuff, he hasn't sounded quite the same. He's been talking about transfers not in a positive light. He's been talking about not getting rid of players, etc. So I don't know how happy he would be with business. But what do you lot think about Ume as well? Edouard leaving, I think that's a positive. It just hasn't worked out. I think that's good for wages. There's no point of keeping players at a football club that are not good enough. And Edouard, it was clear that he wasn't good enough, and we just kept him pre-season, etc., for him to play more games and build up a bit of fitness and maybe find a club. And he's moved to Lens for around 5 million euros, reportedly. But I guess I won't be surprised if that's been reported a bit higher. It might be a bit less than that, but what we're saying, like between like £2 to £4 million. So basically nothing significant. The fact that we got money for him is good. He's off our wage bill. That's a positive step in terms of going forward. But yeah, it's just Raksaki. Raksaki. I don't know what's happened with that. That's gone quiet as well. I just feel like I don't know exactly how many people are working on transfers, but I just feel like the Guehi thing has just held us back. It's just held us back because Raksaki was actually meant to leave out on loan. There was a few clubs after him, but have you not seen anything? I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen anything with Raksaki today. Today's been very quiet on that aspect. So I don't exactly know what's going on with him, to be fair. You would think that he was going to leave, but there isn't anything that's actually been mentioned with Raksaki. So yeah. Raksaki is interesting, Patrick. I'll just talk about Raksaki. Quiet.
He's
Nothing.
still here, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
But like I said before, the whole Guehi situation messes up everything else. I mean, if we focus on that for the entire day,
That's what I'm thinking as well with Raksaki. Maybe like we're so focused on that, we just couldn't. There's only so many ears one person has, and living conversation someone can have. So I don't know. Like you got the JD Campbell, you got Uche, you may end up leaving, but maybe Raksaki we just didn't have enough time. Is my guess.
And
but then again, Patrick, what happens with him?
This can't be true though. What late? Kind of who are we going to sign? Like who are we going to sign?
Anyone
late. We tried to do it for 5 hours. They haven't gone now. We're going to do it now in 2 hours. I don't understand. What are we supposed to do? Who are we going to get?
People play that we don't know about.
Yeah,
maybe.
Am I still? Is it still jump? It's still lagging.
It's not as bad. It's not as bad. It's cool.
Okay.
But could that be a case? Maybe.
What? Say that again. I'm not hearing what you said.
Maybe a deal sheet for someone else. Like we don't know about.
Somebody would have announced it, don't you think? They would have said, "Pass out a deal sheet for a player." I'm guessing.
I just feel like right now, wherever they are in the Soho offices or wherever they are, I just feel like it's just crazy. I don't know if Parish or whoever's in them offices have the time to flip and even give out the news. All the news, it seems like it's coming from who? Patrick. It seems like it's coming from Liverpool. Yeah,
Liverpool.
So we don't know what's happening on Palace side of things. Which Palace reporters have really reported anything today on Palace transfers? Even Uche, I don't think anyone said anything because I don't think Palace have the time to give out news.
Right.
Like it just seems like it's just chaos trying to sort everything out at the same time. What's happening with Uche? Is that done?
I don't think it's done, but I'm not worried about that one. That one will get announced. I'm not worried about that one. Will get announced. There's no way because he wanted Palace. He's been doing his medical. They've announced it, but I'm not surprised it hasn't been announced yet. I'm not worried about Uche getting announced, but I'm more concerned about just we have to just end this Guehi saga one way or the other. This is ridiculous. It's just like going on and on and on and on and on. I don't understand.
Well, what do we do with Raksaki then, Patrick?
Oh, there's news. There's news. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Spurs and Palace have signed a deal sheet which has gone in for Maynard Solomon for a loan. So that came from a Spurs journalist, by the way, not a Palace journalist. That was a Spurs journalist who said that. So yeah, that will probably get done, I'm guessing. So they had time to do that in all this, chaos. They found time to put a deal sheet in for Maynard Solomon. So I don't even know what to say about that. So yeah, here's the official. Thanks. Yeah, deal sheet's gone in for Solomon. Saw that just now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I don't know where he's going to play. I don't know what he's going to do, especially after we sign Uche. But yeah.
No, Uche plays more as a midfielder and a striker. He can play out wide, but he's going to play more centrally. So it's not going to affect Solomon. Solomon's going to be back up, I'm going to guess, for Saw, but it's going to affect Essen.
I'm not happy with Solomon, but I don't want to get into that.
I don't get that.
I'm not happy with Solomon.
I don't get it either. I don't like it. I don't get it. But
just quickly, as I said, we keep getting distracted. The Raksaki situation. What happens with him?
Bro, great question. Someone said in the chat about the Scottish window is open a little bit longer. The biggest, I heard they all closed at the same time. That's what I heard because that's one of the reasons why it was today.
Window. I don't know how
Turkey's
it works.
later, yeah, but he's supposed to be going what? I thought Celtic or Rangers were looking interested in him, right? I heard so. He didn't go to Leicester or not Leicester. Who wanted him? Sheffield United. Somebody wanted him in the championship. So I don't know what's going. I don't understand. And if he's not gonna play the kid, what's the point in having the kids? What's the kid gonna do for the? We probably need him for the numbers, but right, he's homegrown. You know what I mean? So he might get back in the squad, but he doesn't trust him.
He doesn't trust him. Yeah, exactly. He's like Edouard. What's the point of keeping Edouard? Well, we didn't keep him, so we got rid of Edouard. So what's the point?
I don't understand it. Yeah, I don't understand.
Having numbers for numbers' sake is pointless.
That is pointless, especially if you're not going to play the person exactly. So
that's going to be interesting. I don't know if we can sort out a deal for him.
We're not getting Sterling. He's staying at Chelsea apparently, and he doesn't want to go. He wanted to stay in London because his kid plays for the academy at Arsenal, so he's not going anywhere. He's gonna sit in the reserves or whatever at Chelsea until January, which is mad.
I wonder how much he paid as well.
Chelsea got way too much money to before.
Patrick, you want better news? Crystal Palace manager Oliver Glasner is one of the candidates Bayern Leverkusen are considering after terminating the contract of Eric.
No, I knew that. No, I saw that already. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Yeah, it's not. That's not. Yeah, I heard that already. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'll be interested in taking that job too. So good for him. I mean, listen, bro, we got until May to keep him if we're lucky. If we don't get him till then, we have him until whenever. We won the FA Cup Charity Shield. I'm gonna just be happy with that. I'm interested to know. I'm really thinking about my head who's gonna replace him, because in my head, I can't think of a good candidate. That's what bothers me more than anything else.
Breaking news coming from
Oh.
Anfield sector is that Guehi stays at Palace.
Yeah, again, we don't know that yet until I need to see.
That is coming from Anfield sector that Guehi stays at Palace. So
Again,
after
my
everything,
question-
we'll see who else
my question
confirms
is-
that as well.
Okay. Again, we got a player here that doesn't want to be here, great, or wanted to leave, and the manager wants to leave probably too. So that's great. This situation is ridiculous, bro. Seriously.
Yeah, so he's let's see if anyone else confirms that as well. But
Can I read a quote from you from Parish about JD Canva, because I think it's hilarious. Are you ready?
yeah, I laughed at it.
Yeah.
I read it already. Yeah, go ahead.
Steve Parish on JD Canva signing. Both of their squad already brimming with talent and potential, and I look forward to seeing his impact both this season and in the future in red and blue. Potential, yeah, but it's very light. Is it potential and very light on numbers? Did he mention that part in that quote? It's a strange quote.
What did he say again? Sorry.
He says brimming with potential and talent, the squad. He's not wrong, but it's also very light, Steve. Can we address the numbers in the squad? Maybe it's just me. I don't know what to do. Oh, you know what? That's a great shout. Get him in. I'll take Mourinho. I know you wouldn't, but I'll take him.
No. I'm sorry.
I'll take Roger Schmidt too.
I love Mourinho. I don't know.
You. Listen.
He really struggled in Turkey, bro. It's got me very worried.
Yeah, I hear
got
you,
me very worried. Like, I don't know about that one.
I hear you.
But why are we talking about another manager? It's just
because you know he's gonna leave.
What on earth has happened today? Like, what yesterday? 14 games unbeaten, clean sheet.
I know.
Bring on Conference League, and now we're talking. I'll take Mourinho. Like, what? What the game? It hasn't even been 24 hours since we beat Villa. It's been less than that, and we're talking about I'll take Mourinho. Like, what the hell is going on? It shouldn't. It really shouldn't be like this. It really shouldn't. But yeah, Edouard leaving is a positive, Patrick.
Yeah, wages gone. I think that I read into the comments that Glasner made about the Fredrikstad game when he said that
there's players that we don't even want to keep at a football club sitting on the bench.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also just that the players were in. I think he thinks that Edouard faked the injury, the Achilles, just faked it so he didn't want to play for Palace. You know what I mean? So, which I think he just want to get rid. So that's a positive, by the way, because
we can understand from Edouard as well. He's clearly not wanted. So if he wants to leave, there's no point in risking the injury. Let him leave, man. Well, he's gone now anyways, which is good. What an error.
Yeah.
What an error. The Edouard error is over. Remember the head-to-head debates, Edouard and Mateta. What the?
Oh man, I remember them. That you and I fell out over nonsense over that nonsense debate, which made no sense. Looking back on it, how silly is that fallout over Edouard?
No, but at the time there was a debate though.
No, I'm not saying there wasn't, but I'm saying what's the point of having a debate over that when honestly, what was that about? And what's this now? Red Sea putting this up. I mean, I don't even know what that means. But is that Ornstein? Is that Ornstein said it? No way.
I don't know. Check. Sorry, I'm just quickly doing something.
I'll look.
Just have a quick look. But it looks like he's staying anyways. We just have to somehow recover all of the mess that happened today. I don't know.
How do you do that, bro? How do you do that?
What?
But how do you do that? How do you fix what just happened? This is a disaster. You know what I mean? It's just not good.
Well,
not good. Oh, there it is.
5, 7, 3, 6.
No, I don't see anything. There's nothing from Ornstein. Not an update. There's no update from Ornstein. So I don't know. I didn't see anything new. The last thing he tweeted was about Donnarumma going to Man City. There's no Ornstein update unless I missed it somewhere. Unless it's a. Oh, okay. Hold on. My bad. Just came through. You ready? You're frozen, or am I frozen? So the latest on David Ornstein is that Marc Guehi is set to stay at Crystal Palace despite deal sheet submitted for transfer by Liverpool. Trefayo did medical agreement reached between clubs for 35 and with centre-back on a 5-year contract. Replacement issues stopped the move. So apparently he's staying. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Listen, I feel really bad for the situation. Is just is a disaster on all fronts to me. I don't know. I don't know how this I don't know how this has gotten it. But I did see the the Ornstein quote. I'll read it again. Marc Guehi set to stay at Crystal Palace despite deal submitted for transfer to Liverpool. 25-year-old did Liverpool medical and agreement reached between clubs at 35 million and was sent back on a 5-year contract, but replacement issues stopped the move. So he's not going anywhere. Nice.
Sorry, I got connection issues, so it seems like he's not going, right?
Nah, Ornstein just dropped the bomber. He's not going.
Yeah. Now we just have to.
But he has to leave. I wrote it down on my sheet. Eze, out. Eze, Guehi, and Edouard now got to cross it off.
No, but jokes aside, Patrick, it's good that he's staying, but now it's like
it's good and bad.
We have this international break
right,
to sit the manager down and try to rectify this, because
I agree with you. I agree. I
had feeling that today hasn't gone down well with him based on all of the comments that he's made about Guehi in the first place. So it's like us. Like, I think it's great that Marc is staying. Like, end of the day, we're happy, right? That he's staying, because now we've got a chance of pushing on. But we seriously need to have talks. I think, like, see Parish and Glasner, I think they will have talks about where do we go from here? Like, how do we end up in this situation? Just to review the whole window, because I don't think the window's gone according to plan. So what's happened? Like, why did we even end up in this situation where 7:45 and we're saying, all right, cool, Guehi's staying now? It's just it shouldn't have reached this point in the first place. That's my point. In the in the last minute, our club captain to be sold with no proper replacement signed up, and one of the names mentioned was Igor from Brighton. Like,
right.
But yeah, so I think it's good that Guehi stayed, because that's what Glasner wanted. That's the bigger picture. But now we just have to sit down and say, well, if I'm Glasner, that's what I'll do. I'd like to put my chairman and sit him down and say, all right, look, Steve, last summer, we said we're going to sign players early. We left it late and then, brought in a lot of players on deadline day. This summer, you was on the verge of selling Guehi. We sold Eze, and replacements weren't done on time. So what is going on? Do you get it? So I think those conversations, I don't know, I'm not Glasner, of course, but I think naturally those conversations need to be held and go from there. For me to change my stance with Steve Parish, I need to see change in terms of his approach to the window, because I don't think this window we showed ambition. I don't think we did. We could have done more in this window to push on. I think the timings of even the Eze sale was weird. Then we didn't bring in Yeremy Pino, till after Fredrikstad games. Both for the Fredrikstad games have been played. Of course, he joined before the did he get announced before the second game or after the second game? I can't remember.
Who's that?
Pino.
Yeah, he got announced the day after the match. The Friday.
So the day after them, so on a Friday. Yeah, he got announced on a Friday. So what was that about? You sold Eze, you should have the replacements already lined up. So that's what I'm saying. This window hasn't gone to plan. I'm not like, the signings of Pino looks exciting. I think Canvert looks like a good backup, and we needed a backup, and he's 19 years old. It's good that he has that role today. But when it comes down to it, it just feels like this window hasn't gone to what we expected it to go down to. And how is Mark going to be in this situation? You know, the guy done his medical for Liverpool. You
won't
made
be
the
happy.
guy go do his medical for Liverpool. Then after 7:45, you're saying no, he's staying. Like
You won't
it
be
hasn't
happy.
been good enough.
Okay.
It's poor. It's poor. So yeah, Shifty. I am still gonna talk. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, Guehi staying. That's it. Great, because I've just listed the points. If you're happy, you're happy. I'm not gonna change my stance. It's not like I'm saying it's a terrible window, but there were so many things that went sideways, and we need to make sure this don't happen again. Because now Glasner's been linked to buying Leverkusen, and it's just we should have backed him in this window much better. We should have showed a bit more ambition than what we've done today. And today was a very fine line was walking on in terms of potentially saying Guehi and making this manager upset. Some people saying that he might walk. I disagree with that. But yeah, it was a joke. It was a joke of a day. Despite I should be happy. Canva signing up. I am happy about the signing of Canva. Uche should be announced as well. We got Pino.
Right.
Maybe we could have got another midfielder, but that would have been a very good window in terms of personnel. But the timings and how this window dragged out, and what not getting replacements in when preseason started, this window was a mess. Was a mess behind the scenes. So hopefully we sign Uche, which hasn't been announced yet, but it's been a proper mismanagement. And I think Dougie Friedman leaving, I don't care if he's left the list. It's been a joke. And I think C. Parish needs to look around him because others took the responsibility today, right? Not today.
Yeah,
I mean, this whole window. So whether that's Moody and whoever that is, he has to look around him, and he has to move friendship aside and look and say, analyze the window. Why was it as it was? Because it wasn't good enough. And we haven't really, I mean, last summer when we lost Anderson and Ayew, we still brought in the players. It was late on, but this window, it just felt like we just didn't have a plan. When I'm seeing Igor Julio be mentioned on deadline day, it doesn't seem like we had a plan. Last summer, I feel like we did have a plan, but everything was done late. This summer, it was like everything was done late, and it seems like we were just shuffling and trying to sort stuff out last minute kind of thing. So it's good. You're staying, but let's build on. We can still have a good season with Guehi staying. Pino joining is good. Uche joining should be good as well. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, question marks are there with how Glasner views Steve Parish after everything that's gone on. But let's get behind the boys. Let's get behind the boys because this could be an exciting season. Exciting season. So yeah. But what's your thoughts on the window anyways, Patrick?
Disappointing. And today was an utter embarrassment. I am happy with getting Benitez, getting Sosa, getting Pino, getting Canvo, and then hopefully we will get Uche over the line. But we're still short midfield. We're still short of a striker or a number 10. It'll probably be 10. Will probably be Maynard Solomon. Like I said, there was a deal sheet done, so he'll come in. That will allow Kamara to focus on center midfield. So we're going to need that. Let's say that Wharton's out for a while. You've got Kamara, Lerma, and Hughes in midfield, and then Devaney. Honestly, so you got 4. You're going to have Canvo can now play in the. You've got him to be the 4th center back, which really helps. Maybe now you also can put Jemede, who threatened to leave today, by the way. He wanted to leave because he thought his path was going to be blocked by what's his name, by Julio. So maybe that's a good sign for Jemede. That's a good thing. Uche can rotate among the 10s. He can play as a center midfielder and as a striker. Actually, Uche to me will be the most exciting one because he's very, very, very versatile, very raw, very versatile, big, strong, technically good player. I'm really looking forward to getting that announced. That would be great. But I just think in the background, bro, there's a lot of going on that's just not going to end well for us. I'm going to enjoy the football on the match days, but in between, bro, it's just too much stress. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous because this shouldn't have come to this today. I think one of the biggest things I'm looking back at it now, you mentioned before, was when Dougie left, get replacement in right away. We always take a long time. When a manager leaves, we take a long time to get replacement, and then we end up with Roy Hodgson, whatever. We've never been able to name a manager quickly enough. Fortunately, we did with when Glasner came in for Hodgson when he got sick, he came in right away in January. But for the most part, we're terrible with managers. When Dougie said he was leaving, and I'm sure it was a shock to Parish, should have named someone right away, and that person should be in charge of transfers, and we could have got stuff done early. Or honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would have given it. I would have not that he wants to do it. I would have given it to Glasner and say, you know what, you get the players in. You know what? Because he's been technical director before in Austria. He knows the job. You know.
I think Glasner's been involved though. To give credit, I think Glasner has been involved because I think.
I'm not saying he hasn't been because he talks about the profiles of the players. I get that part, buddy. I'm just talking about to get deals done, not to identify players, and that's not his job really. Managers don't really identify and then go out and negotiate. But my point is, in the background, the negotiations that for all the deals have been terrible because they've all taken a long time to get done. Pino was actually pretty quick. So was Sosa. Benitez wanted to come here. I heard he actually identified, told the club he wanted to come here when he was at his club in Holland. So that PSV, he wanted to come here because we got Europa League or then played Europe. So him, free agent, no problem. But it's just been a really bad. And I think today makes us look really bad. I don't really care how Liverpool fans feel. I don't like Liverpool because the way they did it was classless. The last day of the window to come in like that is, you should have done it earlier. I don't care how they feel, but it makes the footballing world, we look like idiots, bro, to do this, like have this happen away. I'm glad he's staying but again, I'm glad he's staying because I want to leave, but it just looks really, it looks ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It was just a stressful day for no reason. It could have just been avoided it could have been avoided if we just simply said, no, we're not selling them today. But we tried to. We tried to.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's still here. Guehi's still here. Glasner's still here. We need to have like an incredible push till January, and hopefully, like that, they might want to invest a bit more money into the football club because, we need to announce Matt Hobbs, I believe.
Yeah, as
we need to announce in the next during this international break. We need to announce him.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
just announce him, then focus on the main stand. Just get things intact. This summer has just been so much. I'm so happy that the window's closed. And you know how much I actually like the transfer window. Not because of us signing players, but it can get exciting. We normally operate sensible in it. But this window has been so annoying.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, I'm over the moon that it's done. Like no more, Patrick. No more.
I'm with you,
January, man. No more. Thank God. And it shouldn't have been like this. It should have been like, you know what? It was a great window. It was nice. Not, thank God it's shut. Yeah. Because it's just been a headache. I mean, we made sure we continued it until the last day as well. And today it's just been absolutely grim. But yeah, overall, what would you rate the window then?
Going back to the original ones, you got Benitez, Sosa. I wrote them down so I can remember. Benitez, Sosa, Pino, Canvert or official, and then obviously Uche, and we kept Marc. We ended up losing Ebbs. 6 out of 10. 5, 6.
6.
I don't know. 5.
Wow.
5.
What was
5. Well, we lost Eze, and we took a long time to replace him, and we didn't get the real centre half. We needed another centre half. Even say that again. We got a centre half in Canvas, so I shouldn't say that. We need another midfielder. Like I wanted to get either Gallagher or who else was I like Gallagher because he would have done well with Wharton. I'm thinking a centre midfield of some type. So either the kid at Middlesbrough, Hayden Hackney, or Gallagher. I think we're getting a little bit light in centre midfield the way that we play, the injuries, but I'm not worried. I wasn't worried about right wing back. Someone put in a chat about that. Whoever, Klein will play there or one of the kids will play there. Hopefully, doesn't go down. We've got a left wing back cover. I'm gonna say 5 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? It's more honestly, it's more about today and the shit show that was today.
Yeah, I think it's more about today. I think
Yeah, it's about today. It was embarrassing. Yeah. So for me, a 5 out of 10. Yeah. So what about you?
Because I think if today didn't happen and let's say we from the start we said Guehi staying, I don't think you'll give it 5 out of 10. I think you'll give it higher.
You're right. I wouldn't have. You're right. I wouldn't have. Yeah. I wouldn't have. You're right. It's just today was a disaster.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's hard to say. I think We got an Eze replacement in Pinner.
Right.
We didn't even
Left wing
consider
back
Solomon.
cover.
We didn't even say Solomon. Do you even?
Well, it's not done yet. So yeah, we maybe tomorrow or whenever we come on again, we'll talk about Solomon coming in and hopefully Uche is official.
Yeah, I think Uche.
Wait! You saw the Manzi quote. What's that?
No.
That Manzi quote. Wait.
What was
Sorry,
it?
that's not it. Sorry. Glasner stood firm and ensured the Crystal Palace hierarchy stuck to the agreement of not letting Marc Guehi leave without a credible replacement. Wow. Wow.
Mm.
Oh, wait, there's more. No, that's it. Let me find it actually on guy, you go ahead. Let me find it on thing and I'll read it to you. The whole quote.
All right, cool. Are you gonna go find it on Twitter?
Yeah, I'm gonna find it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, but it's like, so I just think it's a money element. I just feel like they know that because we have Glasner at the football club, if we got £35 million right now, we'd still stay up. And I guess JD Canvert could be the Guehi replacement, and then maybe I'm trying to put myself in Steve Parish's shoes. You got Jamie Day at the football club. You brought in JD Canvert. So if Guehi was to leave, maybe Canvert can be the replacement, which I think Glasner doesn't think he's ready to be that replacement. And then Jamie D could be the backup alongside Riyadh. I think that was the thinking. And on top of that, we get £35 million. So I think that was the idea of thinking. But Glasner clearly doesn't think that was good enough in terms of having Jemine and Riyadh as a backup and Canvert coming in, just playing only 20 appearances at the professional level. So that's why they thought. That's the quote, by the way. A bit crazy from the board because it's a very risky business. But I think forget about the players. I think the biggest thing is they know that we have Glasner at the football club. So regardless, even if Canvert wasn't good enough, it would be enough to stay up. Like we wouldn't be worried. Like we wouldn't fight relegation. You get it? It comes back down to that. Like we're not going to go down.
Right.
So even if we've lost Guehi and Canvert wasn't good enough, we can put Lerma there and we could get results and get through it. So
right.
So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what their thought process was. That's the only thing that makes sense.
So the only part that's missing from the quote, D, is this: deal now off. Oliver Glasner stood firm and ensured the Crystal Palace hierarchy stuck to the agreement of not letting Marc Guehi leave without credible replacement. So basically, he just said he can't go. And you know what? Seriously, as much as I love this manager, I love him even more. Good for him for sticking to his guns and saying, you know what? He's not going. You didn't get me a replacement. Because he already compromised on the timing. So he wanted it before the window, at the beginning of the window. It was the last day. So if we got one out, he would have said okay. But for him to leave without replacement, God bless Oliver Glasner. He said, you know what? No, he can't leave. So good for him, man. Good for him. So, and by the way, I know in the chat that they're both going to end of the season. So I get that. I know Glasner leaving end of the season, and so is Mark. But I don't care about that right now. I always try to live in the moment. D knows that about me. I live in the moment. We were at the FA Cup final. D was talking about Europe. I was talking about we just won the cup. I don't care about the future. I care about day by day. So I get that he's going to leave, and that's fine. I can handle Glasner leaving and Mark. But for this season, let's just do the best that we can. And that's it. But Glasner is incredible. I love that. I love that quote, man. I love it.
We just need to push on. Hopefully everything's fine with Mark as well, because we made a guy go and do a medical, which I think is slightly a piss take. Telling him to go to medical. I mean, it's not Liverpool that said, "Oh, come, let's do medical." It's Palace that said, exactly. Yeah, I think that's a piss take on him. So I think today, hopefully, Parish and Glasner and Guehi, they just sit down and sort it out because yeah, like making another man do a medical is, and then not going ahead with the deal when maybe Guehi's thinking at this point like it should have happened. Like, why make me do a medical? It's just silly business. It's just been a silly day, which we haven't still signed Uche, but finally we got out of it whilst keeping Guehi for let's say until January. Do you reckon we sell him in January?
In January, you could actually sign a pre-agreement for European teams. That's what Trent was going to do with Real Madrid. So he can go to Europe. Hopefully, Real Madrid come in for him or Barcelona. That's my hope. I don't want to see him anywhere near Liverpool. I swear to you, I need Bayern Munich or Juventus. Oh, they don't have money, but I need a big club in Europe because I still love. Oh my gosh, Michael Olise. I don't really watch him play, but I love him. But I don't see him play that much. He plays in Bayern. I love it. He's not playing against Palace or on TV every week on the Premier League. Let him go to Europe. I don't want to see this guy anywhere near Liverpool. I don't want to see him go there. And the way they dealt with him today, especially, I don't want him anywhere near Liverpool. They only went and got the best striker in the league. No, I hope Liverpool lose every game rest of the season. Nah, but answer your question, I think he'll definitely be gone. But I think he'll leave in May. He won't leave in January. I think that won't make any sense to him. At that point, you just write out your contract, bro. You know what I mean? Unless he's dead set on going to Liverpool, like I want to Liverpool, then he can just go in. You know, he can go in January or can go in end of the season. But for me, keep options open. I said that the whole time. Let him go. Again, I need someone else to come in for him. Somebody big to turn his head, because I don't want him going to Liverpool now. No chance. And I hope. Well, I don't want Arsenal to win Liverpool, so I'm down to Man City or Chelsea winning the league. That's dire for me, but I'll take it. I'm a City fan right now.
Ward is a bit of a worry. It would be nice if
he's gone. He's gone. Wharton's gone, but that's okay.
I'm not even talking about him being gone. I'm talking about the
injury. You mean the injury? The injury.
The midfield.
So I wanted to talk about that real quick. Another good thing that I haven't mentioned, because I haven't been in the mood for good news, is that check the Corey and Riyad should be back at some point, and Nketiah in the next month or two. That's good news.
Massive. We need the Corey.
Exactly, buddy. So the Corey, Riyad for another centre half, and having Nketiah. By the way, when I keep talking about not having a striker, I keep forgetting we have Nketiah, obviously, and he might be back sooner than later. No, I'm not gonna be funny. You know me, him. I'm not like a big fan, but listen, I respect the guy, and we need him. So no, it's a good point though. So having those three back is going to be massive. And you're right. Wharton, we got to find out. I hope it's not a big injury. I know he won't be at England camp most likely, but I feel bad for the kid because he deserves a chance to play for England. But nah, man, definitely, those three back is going to be really big for us. So. And Nketiah being back is going to be huge. I agree, Sean, in the chat. I think Nketiah being back. Because, bro, JP needs a rest, bro. He plays too many games. He's playing too many games, man. We're going to have Conference League Cup against Millwall. I mean, we need to rotate this squad a little bit, man. So, let's see what happens, bro. Let's see what happens. But, bro, this day has been a disaster. I need a nap. I woke up about like 4 o'clock in the morning to just with the stress, and then did the play range with Lou, then we jumped on this, and this day has been horrible, man. Horrible. It's only what 3:10 over here, 3:05 over here. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You're 8 o'clock at night over there. But it's get this day done, man. It's been a disaster. And announce Uche, please. Announce Uche so I can just get off my phone, put my phone away for the rest of the day.
You're gonna play a range,
bro.
Tomorrow. That's
tomorrow?
Yeah, you and Lou recorded, of course. We'll drop that.
Yeah, nice.
Tomorrow afternoon around 12 o'clock. And then we got Pinner video dropping on Wednesday. And then we'll see with... I don't think there's any Getafe English-speaking fans. That's a problem. So...
for Uche?
Yeah.
I mean, you could try. Put out something on Twitter. Maybe somebody will recognize it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see with that. But yeah, we should wrap up. Uche should be announced at some point.
Yeah.
It's been a long day.
Yeah. You can do Palace News tomorrow. You can jump on with Uche's announcement tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see.
What is going on? What a club, bro. What a club.
Yeah. All right, then, people. Thanks to every single one of you that's joined us live. If you have enjoyed it, drop a like if you haven't done so, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We've finally got through the transfer window. I mean, we didn't do it the easy way. Guehi is staying as it stands. Hopefully nothing else changes. Glasner is still at the football club. We brought in Canva, and hopefully Uche signs as well, Topopino. So yeah, I mean, let's see what we can do. We've got the core still at the football club. Guehi is a key part of that, and Glasner is. So we can start an exciting upcoming, few months until we see what happens in January. But that's it from us. Until next time, up the Palace.
Up the Palace.